The Stallions are sliding, losers of 4 of their last 5, but a chance to get back to 500 here at home against the Oneonta Outlaws. Welcome to the Arch Top Fiber pregame show. Dan Schaum with you, alongside Nick Zuppi. Nick, a nice day for baseball here on a Saturday night.
No rain in the forecast. The Stallions are going to bounce back with no rain in the forecast.
They're certainly hoping so, but the Stallions parade got rained on yesterday when they were trying to string together 2 wins in a row against the Utica Blue Sox, a 5-4 final in 10 innings on the road.
It could have went either way. The Stallions were up by 3-0 into the bottom of the 8th, but ultimately the defensive errors played a huge role in that loss.
And you mentioned the defensive errors, 4 of those in total, and the big number that is not a good one for the Stallions, all 5 runs scored by Utica unearned.
It was in the later part of the game too. One key one in the 8th led to 3 runs to ultimately tie the game, and one in the bottom of the 10th where the Blue Sox just walked off the Stallions.
Oddly enough, that 5-4 scoreline up there at Donovan Stadium has become awfully familiar. Our sideline reporter Henry Hipschman dives into that.
Thanks, Stan. A bit of a pattern forming here for the Saugerties Stallions. Every time they travel to Donovan Stadium, the home of the Utica Blue Sox, you see in their last 2 losses, they had at least 3 errors, left at least 10 runners on base, and had the lead at some point in the game before giving it back up to Utica. Here's the strange thing. Both games also ended on wild pitches in favor of the Blue Sox. That was what happened last night when Mason Weaver, a wild pitch in the 10th inning, gave up 2 unearned runs and gave them a 5-4 victory. And the Stallions, another loss. Now they'll return home here tonight to face the Oneonta Outlaws, a familiar opponent, a team they played 2 days ago that they defeated 5-4 to end a 3-game losing streak. Now, something to keep an eye on tonight. Can the Stallions limit their errors, and can they bring runners in when they get aboard? It should be a fun one here tonight, guys. Back to you in the booth.
Thanks so much, Henry. Nick, I still can't get over the fact that the last 3 games up there in Utica have ended on a 5-4 scoreline, and the Stallions' last game before Utica against Oneonta was also 5-4.
What a coincidence, 5-4 games all around, but to me, that means they're playing competitive baseball. Either game could have went either way. The Stallions found a way to win 2 of them, even though they were leading in all 3, so like I said, competitive baseball for the Stallions.
And Utica takes a trip here to Canton Field on July 4th. Stallions certainly hoping that it doesn't go like last time. Blue Sox had a 2-0 shutout win here in late July last time around. But regardless, Nick, Saugerties just looking to get back on track now, losers of 4 of their last 5.
Yeah, for me, I think it's going to start in the batter's box. These Stallion hitters need to be more aggressive. They're hitting 187 in their last 5 games. They really need to have some fireworks to win this one.
And you speak of the offense, let's take a trip down to the diamond now and dive into the skid. Let's go.
Let's go.
So the Stallions have lost 4 out of their last 5, 45 runners left on base, 12 errors in that time, and it all started over a week ago at Boonville. Saugerties will plate 4 runs in the first 5 before the offense went silent for the rest of the game. They had the bases loaded in the top of the 8th, trailing by 3, but plated nothing, leading to an 8-4 loss at the Lumberjacks, handing the Stallions their 2nd road defeat of the season. So Nick, would things change a few days later in the first matchup against Amsterdam here at home?
Well, Dan, against Amsterdam, the Stallions came out booming. They scored 9 runs in the first 2 innings and led 9-8 through 2. But from that point on, the offense was straight dooming. They didn't score a run in the last 7 innings of the game, and no Stallions player even reached third base. They only had 4 hits in the remainder of the game, but also had 4 errors defensively that led to 15 Mohawk runs, ultimately falling short 15-9 here at Canton. But after the Mohawks, they played the Glens Falls Dragons again here at Canton. So Dan, how'd they do?
Well, Nick, you think it'd be a Stallions win given Saugerties won 13 straight going into this one, but that was simply not the case. Stallions would play to run in the first for a 5th straight game, but after that, nothing. Once again, similar to the Amsterdam game, and Glens Falls would only score 1 earned run in this entire contest. So the Stallions once again struggling to the finish line. They end up leaving 10 on base in this one and fall 2-1. Nick, would it be 4 in a row?
Well, Dan, the Stallions' losing streak would come to an end at 3 with a 5-4 win against the Oneonta Outlaws. But in their next game against the Utica Blue Sox, the Stallions went back to their usual ways. They were winning 3-0 going into the bottom of the 8th. A key error defensively led to the Blue Sox tying the game at 3. 2 innings later in the top of the 10th, the Stallions would plate 1, giving them a 4-3 lead, but then Utica ultimately plated 2, giving them the win 5-4 due to another key error. All 5 of the Blue Sox runs were unearned in that one. But we're up against a break here on the Arch Top Fiber pregame show. We'll be right back.
Back here on the Arch Top Fiber pregame show, Dan Shalom with you alongside Nick Zuppi. Nick, a place we didn't go on that little trip out to the Diamond was the pitcher's mound, and the Stallion staff has been excellent.
They've been dominating. A team ERA of only 1.67 in their last 3 games. The Stallions pitchers have just been excellent.
And I think the biggest thing for me is that the Stallions have only let up 5 earned runs over their last 30 innings. That's about 3 games and 3 innings. That's pretty crazy.
But on the season as a whole, they are second in team ERA in the PGCBL. So Stallions pitching thus far this season, you have to be very happy if you're head coach Colin Martin. But going back to the offense, they picked up 2 new hitters who have already played a game this season. So let's take a look at who they are.
The first offensive addition, Cameron Carroll out of Weber, played under head coach Colin Martin this past season for the Warriors, and down there a .262 batting average in 46 games played. Also had 26 RBIs, and he didn't waste any time in his first game as a Stallion. 2 runs batted in last night up in Utica, and the Stallions are grateful to have him, given the fact that they've had trouble scratching across runs lately.
The second offensive addition for the Stallions is a middle infielder by the name of Jamie Z. Z is actually the youngest Stallion to play in a game this season. He's simply a rising freshman at Notre Dame, but Z is very powerful in the box. In his senior season at Bergen Catholic High School, he hit .400 with 16 extra base hits, and that damage has carried over already for the Stallions this summer. In his first 2 games, he has a double, an RBI, and 3 runs scored. So look for Jamie Z to be a very capable hitter in this Stallions lineup. But Z is not the only player in the PGCBL, so let's take a look around the PGCBL.
Nick, Amsterdam still sitting at the top, but at 10-1 after finally losing 8-3 to the Diamond Dogs on Thursday night.
That win for the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs should send shockwaves around the entire PGCBL simply because the Mohawks are beatable. They finally lose. They're not going to go undefeated the rest of the way. Every team now playing against them should feel more confident that the Mohawks are beatable.
And they almost got knocked off again last night by the Glens Falls Dragons, who led 6-1 at Shuttleworth Park, but blew the 5-run lead.
Dan, that's the second time now the Dragons have been ahead in the 7th inning or later and still found a way to lose to the Mohawks. It's just a terrible turn of events for the Dragons.
Sitting at 3-6 down there near the bottom of the standings, but they've been playing a lot better than that. The team in last right now, the Oneonta Outlaws, who the Stallions are facing tonight. And Nick, they'll be starting Evan Staroba, who the Stallions have seen before.
Staroba pitched well last time he played the Stallions. He threw 3 innings, gave up 2 hits, 2 earned runs, walked 2, and also struck out 2. Twos galore for Evan Staroba, but he's a very quality arm for the Outlaws tonight.
Has a 3.86 ERA on the year, has been very solid for them. We're going to see Staroba in just a few minutes as we near first pitch. That's going to do it for the Arch Top Fiber pregame show. We'll see you in a minute on the other side of this break.
Colin Martin.
out of 5. Like you said, huge opportunity to bounce back. They've won both games against the Outlaws this season, so like you said, this is a get-right game for the Stallions.
Saugerties certainly hoping so. And Nick, the struggle for this team last night in Utica was errors. All 5 runs scored by the Blue Sox in that one were unearned, and Saugerties had a 3-0 lead until the bottom of the 8th.
The errors have been one of the talks of the 5-game skid. They've had 12 errors in the last 5 games. You can't give good hitting teams extra outs.
And that's been the story against Amsterdam, against Utica. Another problem too, Nick, simply was hitting. They only had 3 hits in this ball game. That's not going to win you anything.
3 hits, like you said, not going to win you anything. Better yet, in the last 5, where they've lost 4 of those, they're hitting 187. This is a team that put up double-digit runs 3 of its first 4. They haven't hit double digits since that 4th game.
Looking for a bounce back tonight here against Oneonta, and the arm on the mound tonight is one that the Stallions haven't used in a long time. Keller Osborne gets a start.
Osborne hasn't pitched, like you said. His last outing was against Glens Falls, but he did do pretty well. He threw 3 innings. He gave up 8 hits, 3 earned runs with a walk, and no strikeouts.
Going to be interesting to see how things go for him in this outing. Struggled last time out, but Nick, it feels like all of this team has been struggling. A couple new additions we highlighted in the pregame show, though, aiding the Stallions here last game, that being Jamie Z and Cameron Carroll, both in the starting lineup tonight.
They've both been hitting. That's the biggest thing for both of those guys right now. Carroll had 2 RBIs against Utica last night, and Z has a hit in both games that he's played for Saugerties this summer. So they've been great energy. They've been providing great energy, thus far in the early season. Looking
to do that here again tonight. Let's take a look now at the Outlaws starting lineup. Brendan Connolly leads things off. If you remember, Kazuhara started last game here against the Stallions in the leadoff spot. Then it's Nathan Bose. Jack Clark stays at the extra hitter in the 3-hole. Then it's Zach Porter, Jace Kohler, Dayton Richards, Zachary Robinson moves up from the 10-hole over to 7. Then Ian Wirtz, Connor Wading, and Kazuhara, who started last game leading off, now back in the 10-hole. Definitely a guy, though, that the Stallions will have to mark down as a bunt guy. Back to 500 here tonight. This one's fouled straight back from Connolly. When he played against the Stallions a couple days ago, 1 for 4 in that one with the strikeout. On the year, 143 average. They're looking for more of a spark from their starter here against the Stallions.
Connolly hit 370 in 41 games at Hudson Valley Community College. So he's definitely underperformed this summer compared to his spring college season.
Osborne comes set. This one's fouled straight back. And Osborne did not record a strikeout in his first appearance against Glens Falls, on the cusp of his first of the season right here in an 0-2 count to Connolly. Stallions falling 5-4 last night against the Blue Sox. They've lost 4 out of 5 after starting this season 3-1. The pitch just misses. Bob Strempek behind the dish tonight. Does not think that one is in there. And the count's 1-2.
Despite not recording a strikeout in his last outing, Osborne had only 1 walk in 3 innings.
This one's lined over to the left side. It gets down for a base hit. Leadoff single for Connolly. Ford will throw it in. But now some early traffic for the Stallions to deal with. And if you remember, last game between these two sides was only a couple of days ago. Oneonta scored first, that being in the 2nd, but couldn't muster up a comeback. Stallions end up winning that one 5-4. Last 2 games for Saugerties have both ended in a 5-4 scoreline. Nathan Bose, the left fielder, at the dish for Oneonta. Runner at first, nobody out here in the top of the first. Off speed's in there, first strike 1. Brumby looks sharper than last time.
He's locating. That's the biggest thing.
And a pickoff play here nearly Had Connolly there at first. He slipped off the bag but gets back just in time.
Osmond even making accurate throws to the bases. He's very controlling out on the mound. That's what he does. He doesn't overpower you with his stuff. He uses his stuff to force weak contact, not swing and misses.
Osmond deals. Fouled off to the right side, and we'll do it again. This time at 1-2. Osmond let up 8 hits last time out against the Glens Falls Dragons. Has already given up 1 here in the top of the first. That being to Connolly, which has him over at first base. Another check over. 1-2 count here to Bose. The pitch. Lined over to Comiskey, makes a nice diving play, throws to second in time for the force. And Osmond has to thank Comiskey there. He saved a base hit.
Comiskey with an absolute sparkler over there at the hot corner. Bose put a good swing on it, but Comiskey saved another base hit.
So Connolly is retired on the fielder's choice. Bose is over at first. Jack Clark next up here for Oneonta. Clark was in the 2-hole last game against the Stallions in right field. This time the extra hitter at 3. He'll take a first pitch ball in the dirt. And a new man behind the plate for the Stallions. That being Cameron Carroll. Played left field last night up in Utica, but first start behind the dish, and he is a true catcher from Weber International, so someone that head coach Colin Martin is very familiar with. This one over to Croce. He'll go to first for the easy out. It's not in time. Was throwing on the run. He can't get it over. A nice pick by Sanchez to not let anyone move. But now there's runners at first and second with 1 out.
Coming into this one, errors were the big storyline for the Stallions, but you're already seeing some great defensive plays. Comiskey with the diver, Croce going to his right. Sanchez then scoops the ball in the dirt. So if the Stallions can keep up this defensive effort, look out. Might win big.
So now it's Zach Porter's turn. RBI situation here for the Outlaws early on. They took a 1-0 lead in the second a couple of days ago. The Stallions played yesterday. Oneonta did not. So this, in essence, a 2-game set for them. Both here at Cantine Field. Stallions have not lost to the Outlaws since June 18th of 2023. That comes in at 726 days. The last time the Outlaws knocked off the Stallions. Saugerties hoping to keep it that way. Got to fend off some early trouble here in the first. 2-0. In there for strike 1.
The last time the Stallions had a winning streak like that was against Glens Falls, where they ultimately were defeated 2-1 right here at Cantine about a week ago now. So hopefully the announcer's jinx is not true.
It's been a rocky start to the season for the Stallions, but they still do have a winning record here at home, 3-2. 1-3 away from Cantine Field. That only victory coming in Saugerties' opener against Glens Falls up at East Field. Since then, they haven't been able to notch a win on the road.
They've played 2 competitive games, though. They got walked off 5-4 against Mohawk Valley and against Utica. So even though they're not winning, if you're a fan of the Stallions, you have to be happy with how they're playing.
Runners will go on the 2-2, and they're going to have to dash back. This one's popped up to Z at second. This could be a double play. Over to second, and Croce drops the ball. Talk about errors troubling up the Stallions. That a prime example of handing a team extra outs. It'll go down as a fielder's choice officially. Or a fly out over to second, excuse me. And then they don't get the runner at second, that being Bose. So there's still 2 out, runners at first and second. But, Nick, that was a chance to get out of this inning cleanly. But now, still another opportunity for Zach Porter, the catcher.
Errors against the Outlaws last time played a factor. The Stallions could have been in the dugout right now and in the batter's box.
And the interesting thing was last game, all of the Stallions' runs, 5 of them in total against Oneonta, came with 2 outs. Outlaws looking to serve the Stallions a taste of their own medicine. 0-1 here to Jace Kohler. In the dirt for ball 1.
Leaving runners on base has been one of the topics of conversation when looking at these 2 meetings thus far. The Stallions have left 19 runners on base, and Oneonta 23 to be put up on the scoreboard.
Oneonta had 14 left on base last game. They had plenty of opportunities to take the lead, just couldn't get the hit to really bring them back into the game. Osmond misses outside. He's created some weak contact here in the first, and his defense has been helping him out. So still, just 1 out away from getting out of this and putting up a 0. Runners will go. Chopped over to Comiskey, straight to the bag for out number 3. Couldn't have been more convenient for Casey Comiskey to close down things here in the top of the first. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left on base as we head to the bottom of the first.
Hey, Rob. We've got a hula hoop competition. These guys are going to wiggle and jiggle and try to be the last man standing.
No score here from Canton Field. Time to take a peek at what Saugerties has tonight on their starters. It's going to start with Luis Rodriguez. He's been the leadoff man every game this season for Saugerties. Then Cameron Carroll in the 2-hole, who had 2 RBIs last night in his first game as a Stallion. Then it's Nick Croce at 3. Travis Hobbins-Siefkin cleaning things up. He has 2 home runs, the only home runs on the year for the Stallions. Justin Ford back in the lineup in the 5-hole. Jamie Z, Casey Comiskey, Logan Sanchez, Jack Painter stays in there at the 9-hole. The arm they'll be facing is a familiar one, Nick, that being Evan Staroba for the Outlaws.
Staroba pitched well here at Canton in his last start. He's 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks to go along with 2 strikeouts for Staroba. Big guy out on the mound, 6'2", 200 pounds, but more importantly, a guy who the Stallions have seen before.
He's going to bring that righty heat, no doubt about it, but just a guy you want up to face him. Rodriguez, 1 for 3 last night in Utica. Did come around to score, had a walk and a stolen base. Takes down low for ball 1. He's been a stolen base machine this season. The Stallions have played 9 games, and guess what? He's got 9 stolen bases.
The Stallions lead the entire PGCBL in stolen bases with 36, so like you said, when they get on first, there's a good chance they're getting the second.
And Rodriguez loves to work a walk, 7 base on balls this year, and that's what makes him so effective as a hitter. He's not going to swing at something he doesn't like, but when he does, he makes good contact, up to a .310 average so far this year with Saugerties in 8 games. That one finds the bottom of the zone for strike 1. Staroba gets the sign, now deals. Can't find the zone, and a dangerous hitter's count here to Rodriguez, 3-1.
Rodriguez does have pop in his bat. He's hit 10 homers at playing 2 years at Marist. So like I said, he's got pop, 3-1, dangerous count.
Was swinging for the fences right there, fouls that one off. The end of the bat, and the count will go full for the first time tonight. Defense for the Outlaws, Porter behind the dish, Keller at third, Robinson at short, Connolly at second base, waiting at first. From left to right in the outfield, it's Bose, Uhara, and Richards. Payoff. Rodriguez stays alive, just shoots it over to the right side. And we'll do it again. Nick, it's a chilly night here in Saugerties, probably the coldest we've had in a good while. Temperature hovering at around 63 degrees. I'm already in the sweater and pants. Might even need a little bit of a jacket later on.
This is the first time in like 4 games now that we are wearing pants. We've been wearing shorts.
Rodriguez works the leadoff walk, and the Stallions will have a base runner with nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Cameron Carroll to the dish now. This is his first at-bat as a Stallion this season at home. Last night in Utica, went 0 for 3, but a couple of RBIs, which were clutch in that one.
2 of the 3 for the Stallions in that game. Carroll hitting in the 2 spot, hitting the 4 spot last night. A guy that Colin Martin is definitely relying on to produce runs.
And Colin Martin knows him very well. Carroll playing his college ball at Weber with the Warriors, where head coach Colin Martin coaches in the regular season. And down there at Weber, 262 average, 26 RBIs in 46 games played. A power lefty the Stallions really need in their lineup. And Nick, that's another thing. We've been talking about this a lot. The Stallions still aren't at full strength, even with Jamie Z and also Cameron Carroll now here. There's still guys coming.
Specifically on Louisville, George Baker, Griffin Crane, those 2 guys are still playing in their college seasons.
This one's tasered over to Uhara. He makes a diving play for out number 1. What a nice play out there by Uhara.
That's back-to-back games now where Kaz Uhara has robbed the Stallions of extra bases, going full extension with the dive. Beautiful play from the center fielder.
And Carroll was all smiles jogging back to the dugout right there. He knew he made nice contact. Rodriguez dashes over to second. Here's the throw down, not in time. 10th stolen bag of the year for Rodriguez, and the Stallions got a runner in scoring position.
It's his 6th against Oneonta alone. In 19 innings, he's stolen 6 bases.
Nick Croce at the plate trying to drive him home. He has 6 RBIs here this year. One out. Off speed in there for strike 1. And Croce, 0 for 3 last night, did come around to score a couple of walks. But he's still looking to really get started. Only has a 188 average through 8 games this season. Rodriguez goes over to third. The throw, not in time. Back-to-back stolen bags for Rodriguez here in the bottom of the first, and now the go-ahead run in this game only sits 90 feet away.
Same thing happened last game. Rodriguez steals first, and he steals second and steals third. With 2 outs, Justin Ford knocked him in from third for their first run. Now Hobbin-Siefken can do the same thing here.
And Rodriguez just got a great jump right there. Porter had no chance, and that was an accurate throw down, on line and fast. 2 stolen bases here in the bottom of the first for Rodriguez. Travis Hobbin-Siefken steps in now after the strikeout from Croce. Hobbin-Siefken, the true power bat in this lineup. That's why he is batting cleanup. 1 for 3 last night at Utica with an RBI. That one finds the outside part of the zone for strike 2.
The Stallions have 2 home runs this season, and they're both courtesy of Hobbin-Siefken. So like you said, big, powerful presence in the batter's box.
0-2 pitch. Tried to get Hobbin-Siefken to chase down low. He hasn't done a lot of that so far this season. 5 strikeouts in 7 games. Rodriguez reached on a leadoff walk, stole second, and then stole third after Croce struck out looking. Stallions looking to scratch across one here in the first. Haben-Siefken cuts this off to the right side, foul. First inning has been a place that the Stallions have loved to plate runs in coming into this game. 6 of the last 7 they've scored in the first. Haben-Siefken just stays alive, fouls it back to the screen. Count stays at 1-2.
Staroba using that power fastball. Haben-Siefken now fouled it off in back-to-back pitches. I wonder if he's going to go breaking ball here or triple up on it.
Staroba just Cade Croce looking for back-to-back to end the inning, and he gets just that. Haben-Siefken down on strikes. Stallions strand 1 here in the bottom of the first. We head to the second. No score from Cantine Field. Back here at Cantine Field, Dan Shallon with you alongside Nick Zuppi in the Pack Hub broadcast booth. This second inning sponsored by J. Mullen & Sons, the Hudson Valley's trusted contractor for over 25 years. Nick Keller-Osmond, the starter for the Stallions, ran into a little bit of trouble in that first, but navigated it well and got out clean.
Osmond's locating his pitches. That's the biggest thing. The Stallions came into this one in their last 3 with a team ERA of 1.67. Osmond puts up another 0 in that first inning.
And an interesting move here for the Outlaws. Nathan Bose has exited the game, possibly an injury. Zach Rowe has come in left field. Bose did reach first base on a 5-4 fielder's choice in the first, but he is out of this game. We hope all is well with him. Dane Richards to lead things off for Oneonta here in the top of the second. And that's a big loss for the Outlaws. Their 2-hole hitter out of this game.
Bose has been raking this summer. He's played in 4 games, 5 for 14, good for a batting average of .357 for the Outlaws.
And another dangerous guy for the Outlaws against the Stallions is the man at the plate, Dane Richards. A couple days ago, he went 2 for 3 with an RBI and a walk. Chops this one foul. Still looking to really get going, though, this summer. 3 for 19 over 5 games.
He has walked a couple times, three to be exact, and he has also been hit by a pitch. So despite only having a 158 batting average, he has a .304 on-base percentage.
Cut on and missed. Osmond gets his first strikeout of the day, and there's one out here in the top of the second. And Nick, that was just a nice off-speed pitch by Osmond to get the first out of this inning.
After the fastball, Osmond spins a slider to the outside corner, completely fools Richards. Pitch landed in the left-handed batter's box.
Zachary Robinson, the shortstop, next for the Outlaws. As Osmond goes back to that slider and misses outside. Robinson was the last batter in the Outlaws lineup against the Stallions a couple days ago. Went 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, but he gets bumped up to the 7-hole here tonight.
He's only played 2 games this year, and both were against the Stallions.
The gas misses inside for ball 2. Robinson played his college ball at Gardner-Webb this past season, a rising sophomore. Did not start, so this is his first time seeing true live action since high school, where he was a first-team all-conference and conference of the year hitter with a .462 average. 3-0. Finds the bottom of the zone. First strike 1.
Both Robinson and Osmond for the Stallions. Osmond, he's only pitched 4 2/3 this past college season, so 2 inexperienced players this summer on both teams.
3-1 offering is fouled off the glove of Carroll, and the count goes full. Osmond doing a nice job in this count. Was down 3-0, has now brought it back to 3-2. The payoff. He misses outside for ball 4. First base on balls dealt by Osmond tonight. Back-to-back innings where the Outlaws have had a base runner. 3 days ago for the Outlaws, 0 for 2, did have an RBI and 2 walks. Osmond locates first strike number 1. And Wirtz, rising junior out of Lehigh. 182 batting average down there this past season. Going over to second is Robinson. Here's the throw down. It's on line from Carroll, but it gets out of the glove of Z. Trickles into center field. A stolen base for Robinson, but Nick Carroll nearly had him right there.
That was an absolute laser down to second base, the short hop that Z could not handle. But another Saugerties catcher that has been almost nabbing base runners. Sam Blanco's nabbed 4 this summer. Carroll almost picks up his first.
3 stolen bases for these two teams combined so far, and we're not even 2 innings in. That one misses upstairs for ball 1. One down, runner at second here for the Outlaws. Second time they've had a runner in scoring position in this game. And Wirtz goes fishing. 2 strikeouts here in the second for Osmond.
The strikeout bug did hurt Wirtz in college. He struck out 33 out of 44 at-bats, just about a third of the time for the Lehigh product.
And Nick, Osmond right there goes right back to what worked in the first strikeout, the slider. Swing and a miss right there down low.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Osmond going to his strikeout pitch.
Connor Wading, the first baseman, up for Oneonta. Wading still searching for his first hit this season. 0 for 13 for him. That's through 4 games. Will be a nice spot for him to break that with Robinson over at second. He stole, which has him there. Wading, the 225 sophomore from Seaford, New York, down on Long Island. Plays his college ball up in central New York, though, with Canisius. Chops this one foul, and Osmond now with a chance to get all 3 of the outs in this inning by way of the strikeout.
Osmond came into this one with none in 3 innings, has a chance to have 3, like you said, in the first 2 innings of this one.
The 1-2 offering. Just misses. Osmond thought that was strike 3, but will do it again at 2-2.
Osmond goes back to the breaking ball. Tried to get 3 consecutive strikeouts on that breaker.
2-2. And now the count goes full. Osmond issued a walk to Robinson. In this inning, that was a full count as well. 3-2, 2 outs, runner at second here in the top of the second. And Osmond bounces one in the dirt. It's a 2-out walk to Waiting. Runners at first and second, and despite Waiting not having a hit so far this season, he's got 4 walks on the year.
But nice block by Carroll on that last pitch, keeping Robinson at second with the chance for the Stallions to nab him at the plate on a base hit.
Kazuhara, who's usually the leadoff man for the Outlaws in the 10-hole tonight, steps into the box with 2 outs here in the top of the second. Doesn't waste any time. First pitch swinging, grounded back to Osmond. He flips to first in time. 2 straight innings that the Outlaws have had 2 runners on base. Nobody coming home to score. We head to the bottom of the second. Still zeros here at Cantine Field. Welcome back to Cantine Field. Dan Shalom with you alongside Nick Zuppi in the Pack Hub broadcast booth. Nick Stallions stranded Rodriguez over at third in the bottom of the first. That's been a problem for them. 45 runners left on base in the last 5 coming into this game.
They didn't even put the ball in play either. 2 strikeouts courtesy of Croce and Haben Siefkin to end the bottom of the first.
Similar to that of Osmond in the top half of the second, where he got his last 2 outs in the inning off the strikeouts. Justin Ford will start things here in the bottom of the second. Ford did not play last night at Utica, his last game being against the Outlaws here a couple days ago. He'll take a first pitch strike. This one's fouled back for strike 2. Ford, 1 for 3 against Oneonta the other day, has been the hottest hitter in this Stallions lineup, a .428 average for him through 8 games this season. Staroba deals. This one's hit off the end of the back to Waiting, and it goes through his legs. An unfortunate break for the Outlaws. It'll go down as an E3. And in back-to-back innings, the Stallions have their leadoff hitter on.
Ford put a good swing on it. Hit it hard to first. Waiting. Goes right to his legs.
And it's not like Ford got all of that necessarily. It did come off the end of the bat. But he got enough to just get it through the legs of Waiting. Jamie Z, the second baseman at the dish now for the Stallions. He's one of the new additions that we were talking about in the pregame show. Went 1 for 5 last night against the Utica Blue Sox with a run scored and a strikeout.
He's provided power, too, against the Outlaws 2 days ago. He had a double, and he also came around to score 2 runs.
This one's popped behind the plate. Porter chasing near the Outlaw dugout. He'll make the play for out number 1. With 1 down here in the bottom of the second, Casey Comiskey, the third baseman, will come to the dish.
Comiskey, another guy in this lineup for the Stallions that could really use a knock just to boost some confidence. Thus far in all 9 games, he's 4 for 29 after hitting .387 with Seton Hall this past spring.
And that's the thing. They know that he's more than capable, has plenty of power in that bat. Just waiting for it to start. Snaps this one in half on a foul ball on the third base line for strike one. You talk about power. Seemed like he was trying to crush that one, Nick, on a broken bat.
He wanted to make the score 2-0 Stallions, but just got jammed a little bit.
Comiskey, 52 RBIs with the Pirates this past season. 8 home runs, nearly 1,000 OPS. Waiting for it to come out. His college teammate Justin Ford standing over there at first in a 1-1 count.
And the way Comiskey ended the season, you would have thought it would have translated to this summer with the Stallions. He homered 6 times in his final 19 games last spring.
Staroba misses down low. 2-1 count. Ford inching off of first. Has a few stolen bases this season and will test the arm of Porter here. He can't come up with it. It's a stolen base for Justin Ford.
Justin Ford picks up his 9th stolen base, which makes him now second on the team for the Stallions.
Comiskey searching for his 3rd RBI of the season. 2-2, can't find the inside part of the plate, and the count goes full. 1 down here in the bottom of the second after Jamie Z popped out to the catcher. Logan Sanchez on deck. The payoff. Misses high and away, bounces off the padding behind home plate. Ford would have gone over to third if not for that bounce straight back to Porter behind the dish.
A fortuitous bounce for the Outlaws, keeping Ford at second base, like you said. But this guy up next for the Stallions, Logan Sanchez, he knocked in.
Shot one over into right, and then in his last at-bat, hit one probably 10 feet short of the wall. So he's a bat that's been hot lately for the Stallions. Had the night off last night up in Utica. Runners are at first and second. First pitch from Staroba misses upstairs for ball 1.
Sanchez was the catcher last time these two teams played 2 days ago, now playing first base today.
And a lot of Stallions players in new positions in this game. Painter, the DH tonight. New man behind the plate being Carroll. As another miss upstairs. The only thing staying the same for the Stallions is the outfield. Ford, Rodriguez, and Hobbins-Siefkin has been their go-to in nearly every game this season besides last night.
They've been 3 of the best hitters for the Stallions, and more important, they've been 3 of the most consistent. All 3 guys hitting above 300. All 3 guys are first in pretty much every category.
And Staroba and Porter just talking things over on the mound. It seems like they've been out of sync these last couple pitches. Staroba skying the fastball. Stallions searching for an early lead here in the bottom of the second. They have runners at first and second with 1 out. The 2-0 offering. High and away, a 3-0 count, and now Staroba's 1 pitch away from loading the bases. Jack Painter due up next. Was 0 for 4 against Utica last night. Fastball clips the top of the zone for strike 1. Sanchez, 8 RBIs so far this season in 6 games. 3 of those coming against the Outlaws 2 days ago. Chases high and away, and the count goes full. Definitely a swing that Sanchez wants back.
Just trying to do too much with that one. You don't need to do too much. Pass the baton to the next hitter. That's something that the Stallions offense has had success with.
Full count. Pitch misses outside, and the bases are full of ponies here for Jack Painter. First by Connor waiting on Justin Ford, and then back-to-back walks here to Comiskey and Sanchez gives Painter a chance to drive home some runs. Was 0 for 4 last night. Had a rough night up there in Utica. A couple of errors and a chance to make up for last night's strikeout where he had the bases loaded in the 10th with 1 out. And he went down looking.
Painter, another guy on this Stallions team that has struggled thus far this summer, but he does have 10 walks, which is the most for the Stallions, good for a .382 on base percentage.
Bloops this one over the head of Robinson at short. Coming in to score is Ford. Everybody will stop. It's 1-0 Stallions off a Jack Painter RBI single.
Maybe that's the swing that'll get Painter off the schneid. He picks up his 5th RBI this season, but the Stallions playing fundamental baseball, not trying to do too much. They'll take in their walks, slap in their singles. It's just only a matter of time before they put up a crooked number on the scoreboard.
The bases are still loaded here for the top of the order. Luis Rodriguez stepping into the box, and just the guy that the Stallions want up. Walked in the first, stole a couple of bags, got over to third, but was stranded there, trying to blow this game wide open here in the bottom of the second. Pops it up in foul territory on the right side. Porter under it. He makes the play. Rodriguez goes down on 1 pitch, and now the baton will be passed to Cameron Carroll, the new addition.
Carroll has a prime opportunity to pick up RBIs 3 and 4 this year, but RBIs 1 and 2 here at Canton.
Both outs in this inning for the Outlaws have been pop-ups in foul territory on the right side, both which Porter has fielded. Carroll lined out to center field in his first at-bat. That was to Kazuhara, who made a nice sliding play. And it's rare that you see a catcher in the 2-hole, but it speaks volumes to how much pop Carroll has at the dish.
It's also rare you see a lefty hitting catcher.
Hits this one down the left field line, just foul. That would have scored 2, maybe 3 runs right there.
With Painter's speed on first, like you said, he probably would have came around to score on that double from Carroll.
Oh, 2 count here to Carroll. Comiskey is at third, Sanchez at second, Painter at first. Stallions have scored 1 in the bottom of the second. Staroba looking to get out of the jam. Misses upstairs for ball 1. One-two count here for Staroba to work with. He deals. This one shot out into right field. Richards takes a couple steps to his left, makes the easy play for out number 3. So Staroba gets out of the jam, but not before the Stallions plate 1 here in the bottom of the second. They have a 1-run lead as we head to the third. I think he's getting ready to go. No, he's cue another ad. Top of the order here for the Outlaws in the top of the third. Brendan Connolly in the box. He had a leadoff single to start off this game. Got stranded over at second in the top of the first. Keller Osmond still on the bump for the Stallions. Misses outside for ball one. And Nick, talking with the Stallions coaching staff, they want their starters to go farther than the standard 3 innings that we've gotten used to here through the first week of play. And Derek Constance last night pitched 5 innings clean. They're hoping for that same length here tonight out of Osmond.
That was the longest outing for a Stallions pitcher, let alone starting pitching. Any Stallions pitcher this year. 5 innings is the longest. The previous longest was 3 2/3, so Constance blew that out of the water.
Only gave up 2 hits and had 5 strikeouts. A great night for him up in Utica, but the Stallions still falling 5-4 in 10. Connolly loops this one out into right field for a leadoff base hit. He's got back-to-back singles to start the evening for him.
Connolly has now doubled his batting average tonight with those 2 hits thus far.
So the same situation as the first inning for the Outlaws. They've got a runner at first with nobody out. And Zach Rowe, who came in for Nathan Bowes in the bottom of the first, now at the dish. Looks to lay down the bunt. A nice pick there by Carroll. Doesn't let Connolly go anywhere. We hope all is okay with Bowes. Whether that be injury or a coach's decision is a mystery up to this point to our knowledge. Our sideline reporter, Henry Hipschman, will try and find that out for us at some point throughout this game. We'll give a check over at first on Connolly. And Rowe, a multifaceted player, started up in Amsterdam, then played left field against the Stallions a couple days ago. Wasn't planning on playing tonight, but now throw it into left field really in the start of the game.
Rowe played well against the Stallions a couple days ago, too. He went 1 for 4 and knocked in a run.
Pops it foul over to the left side. And as a pitcher, too, he's done a solid job, especially against the Mohawks, who we know are such a potent offense up there at Shuttleworth Park. 4 2/3, 2 earned runs in that one. Trying to give his team a spark here offensively in the top of the third. This one goes behind Sanchez over into foul territory. Moving up 90 feet is Connolly. He will stop there. But the errors have been costly for the Stallions. A prime example once again here in the top of the third.
Osmond just shooting himself in the foot. Connolly wasn't looking to go anywhere. It's not like he was getting ready to steal second, just casually going back to first base, but Osmond with the overthrow.
Be an E1 on Osmond. Stallions have had an error in their last 6. It's been a big problem. Rowe tried to lay down the bunt to get Connolly over to third, but he's going to have to swing away now in a 2-2 count. If you're Oneonta, need to play to run here. Runner at second with nobody out.
Leaving runners on base was definitely an issue last game. They left 14 of them against the Stallions just 2 days ago.
And already 4 here tonight. Rowe pops this one into foul territory on the left side. Comiskey giving chase. He makes the play for out number 1.
Beautiful running play from Comiskey. Third base has been an issue for the Stallions coming into this one defensively. 5 of the last 7 errors have come from the third base position alone, but Comiskey now 2 sparklers over there through the first 3 innings.
Stallions still feeling out what they're going to rock with on the infield primarily. Tonight's a different look. Comiskey, Croce, Z, and Sanchez left to right. Jack Clark, the extra hitter in the box. He takes a first pitch strike. First time that we've seen Z over at second, and first time that Sanchez is playing first.
You beat me to it. I was going to say the new guys, Carroll and Z, allowing the Stallions to mix things up defensively. Z played shortstop 2 days ago against the Outlaws. Now he's playing second. Carroll played the outfield yesterday against the Blue Sox. Now he's behind the dish, allowing Sanchez to play first.
Clark had a single in the first. A single here could bring home the tying run. Osborne has dealt a lot of pitches here within the first 2 1/3 innings, but still no runs given up. Only 3 hits. Two-one offering. Can't find the zone. Ball 3. Don't want to give anything to Jack Clark here to hit. He's a hot bat in this Oneonta lineup.
Last game against the Stallions, 2 for 5 with an RBI, and he did homer against Amsterdam a couple days ago.
Osborne can't locate. Ball gets behind Carroll. Runners at the corners now with 1 out. And a perfect chance here for the Oneonta Outlaws to plate some runs. And Nick would not be surprised if Clark goes over to second here, especially with 1 out.
The double play is in order, so if he gets the second, it takes the Stallions out of the double play. But more importantly, it gives the Outlaws a better chance to put 2 and take the lead.
And he's already inching heavily off of first. Stay there on this one. Slider misses away for ball 1.
Osborne's been throwing that breaking ball a lot. He K'd 2 Outlaw hitters already with that breaker. Still using it here in the top of the 3rd.
No activity in the Stallions bullpen. This is Osborne's inning to get out of. Another ball that trickles past Carroll at the plate. Moving up 90 feet is Clark. Runners at second and third. No double play for Osborne and his defense. And a ball to the outfield could very well give Oneonta the lead.
First base is now open. Sanchez is actually playing on the grass over at first. So you may be seeing an unintentional walk here to Porter with first base open.
3 runs batted in for Porter so far this year. That through 5 games. Lines it to left field. That is going to be made by Ford. What a diving play. Coming home to score on the sac fly is Connolly. But Ford saves a run right there. It's 1-1.
The Stallion defense tonight. Comiskey with 2 sparklers. Now Ford lays out and
we'll give you another look here at this one. Ford full extension, doesn't have any chance to get Connolly at home, but most importantly, saves another run from coming home, and now 1 more out gets Osborne out of this inning. Jace Kohler fouls it over to the right side for strike 1. Just his 3rd game this season is hot to start off, though. 6 for 10 coming into this game. Grounded out over to third in the first. That ended the inning. Outlaws have the go-ahead run at second. 1-1 ball game here from Canton Field in the top of the 3rd. Give a check over at Clark on second.
Clark is a threat to steal. He has 4 stolen bases in 4 games played this year for Oneonta.
One. Going down to third is Clark. Throw? Not in time. And Comiskey is very confused about that one. He is questioning the call right there by Frank Parker, who's on the bases tonight.
Carroll made another beautiful throw over to third. Comiskey applied the tag, just not in time to get Porter.
And he really thought he had him on the slap tag. Throw down is in time, and maybe his arm just missed the bag a little bit right there. Ball to the outfield, puts the Outlaws in front. 1-2 count here to Kohler. Misses outside for ball 2.
Comiskey actually on that last steal was a little late getting to third, but he got the tag down in time. Most people thought he was out, but the umpire thought he was safe.
The 2-2. Strike 3 got him swinging. Osborne gets out of the jam, gets Kohler swinging, but the Outlaws plate one here in the top of the third. We got a tie ball game here at Cantine Field. Very good. Back here at Cantine Field, 1-1 game between the Stallions and Outlaws. A big problem so far for Saugerties in this game has been left on base. They've got 4. Our sideline reporter, Henry Hipschman, has more on that. Henry, what do you got?
Thanks, guys. Leaving runners on has been a bit of a problem for the Stallions as of late. Now, the last 4 games leading into tonight, the team has left 38 runners on. I had a chance to talk to third base coach Ron Kelder. He said, it's simple. The team is not hitting enough. We can't rely on walks to get on base, and we need to start manufacturing our ability to get a hit. Now, so far tonight, the team is 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position, have left 4 on base, have 1 hit, and 3 walks. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Henry. Really appreciate that hit. First pitch ball here to Nick Croce. And Croce went down on strikes in the first. 1-0. Misses. And Nick, you can't ignore the fact that the left on base has been such a big problem for Saugerties. They could have so many more runs in these ball games so far over the last 5.
45 of them have been left on base. The Stallions have only scored in 8 of the last 40 innings that they've played in.
Definitely not what head coach Colin Martin and the rest of the staff wants early on this season, but the good thing, we're only 9 games in, and we have a long ways to go. Croce finds himself in a 2-1 count here in the bottom of the third. Staroba still out there for the Outlaws. Smacks it up the middle. Leadoff single here for Nick Croce. 3 straight innings now for the Stallions where they've had their leadoff runner on.
And Croce needed that one. Came into that at-bat being 2 for his last 21. A big knock for Croce to boost some confidence.
Croce has a bunch of pop in the bat right there, not trying to do too much. Lines it up the middle for the single. Another guy who could use a hit, Travis Hobbin-Siefken. He's at the dish now. Went down swinging in his first plate appearance.
Hobbin-Siefken, 1 for his last 10. Like you said, definitely needs a knock to pick up some confidence.
Staroba zings the fastball in there for strike 1. Croce gets his lead off of first. Goes over to second. Throw down from Porter offline. It's a stolen bag for Nick Croce, and the Stallions have a runner in scoring position here with nobody out in the bottom of the third.
That's the 7th stolen base for Croce on the season. He's now tied for second on the team in that category.
Got a nice jump right there. 3rd stolen bag of the evening for the Stallions, and they've got to bring home this runner now. Hobbin-Siefken still has a tall order. 0-2 count here for him. Trying to bring Croce home. Checks his swing. Does he go around? Frank Parker, the bases umpire, says no. Counts 1-2. Hobbin-Siefken, 9 RBIs coming into this game. Couple of home runs in there as well, those being the only home runs on the year for the Stallions. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Smacked up the middle. Croce is going to get waved home. Uhara throws. It's not going to be in time. RBI single for Travis Hobbin-Siefken. The Stallions retake the lead. It's 2-1.
Great hitting by Hobbin-Siefken. Down in the count, does not chase the breaking ball in the dirt. Finally gets the pitch he wants and does not miss it. Lines a fastball right back up the middle and picks up his 11th RBI of the season.
That's great stuff out of Hobbin-Siefken. And not to say that he was necessarily slumping coming into this game, but a bat the Stallions want to stay hot, and that's certainly going to help the average. Another guy who's been near perfect this season for the Stallions, Justin Ford. He's at the plate here with Hobbin-Siefken at first and nobody out in the bottom of the third. Hobbin-Siefken going to second. Porter, throw down, not in time. It was there, but Robinson didn't get the tag on there.
Back-to-back innings, we saw Comiskey in the top half. The throw beat the Outlaw runner. Comiskey missed the tag. Right here, same thing. Porter made a beautiful throw, and Hobbin-Siefken slides in safely.
This seems like a recipe for success. Back-to-back batters for the Stallions who singled and then stolen second. Ford trying to bring Hobbin-Siefken home. Fouls the pitch off to the right side, 0-2. Same situation. It's like we're in a deja vu scenario right now here, Nick. Ford finds himself 0-2 with the runner at second, nobody out in the bottom of the third. Hobbin-Siefken was down 0-2 before working the count to 1-2, and then eventually had the RBI single. He reached on an E3 in the second, stole second base, and then came around to score. Jack Painter, the one who brought him home. Stallions showing signs of life here in the early innings. They've plated runs in back-to-back innings, looking to add more. 0-2. Good take right there by Ford, makes things 1-2.
Ford definitely the right guy in the box to add more runs. All he did was hit last year in the PGCBL for the Stallions. He made PGCBL first team honors and knocked in 31 RBIs in 37 games played for Saugerties.
Breaking ball misses, and it's just the guy that the Stallions want up here in this scenario. He leads the team in batting average with a .428 as of right now, and has also scored 9 runs himself, that being a team-leading mark. 2-2. Tasered into right center field. That's going to get down in front of Richards. Coming home is Hobbin-Siefken. There will be no throw. Back-to-back RBI singles from the Stallions, and they've opened up this game to 3-1.
Another Stallion not trying to do too much, hitting the ball where it's pitched. Ford works his way back into the count, just like Hobbin-Siefken did the batter before, gets a fastball and does not miss it. Beautiful hitting there from Justin Ford.
3 straight singles for the Stallions here in the bottom of the third has given them a 3-1 lead, and Nick, there's still nobody out in the inning.
Especially against a tough arm in Staroba. He gave the Stallions fits in his last start against these guys. Saugerties knocking him around a little bit, specifically here in the third inning.
Jamie Z at the dish. Popped up to the catcher in his first plate appearance last inning. Ford is at first. That one misses down low, 2-0. Z's done a nice job so far this season with the Stallions. A couple of hits for him, and scored a run last night against Utica in high school. A .400 hitter with 19 RBIs, 8 doubles, 4 triples, 4 home runs. Power and contact guy, a little bit upset with himself right there, but he'll get another chance in a 2-1 count.
The Stallions need his power. They're in the bottom half of extra base hits in the PGCBL. Z, a guy who has power to all the gaps and even over the fence.
Stallions could use some of that power right now. Ford gets his lead off of first. 2-1. Big cut and a miss right there. Z was trying to make the game 5-1 in a blink of an eye, but now he's got to go to work in a 2-2 count. 1-1 game heading into this bottom of the third. Stallions have played a 2 to make it 3-1. Z smokes one into right field. A diving catch by Richards in right field. Or no. It got down because Z's still standing there at first, and Ford was caught in the middle of first and second. Excuse me, that ball got down. And that'll go down as a single, but to everybody here at Canton Field, that looked like a diving catch by Richards in right.
I thought we were going to get another great defensive play. That would have been the 5th already this game. It's the 2nd for the Outlaws. Richards going full extension just like his teammate Uhara did in center field back in the 1st. Richards almost came up with a SportsCenter top 10 play.
Almost had the top 10 play, but not to be. Evan Staroba's day is over. It's a Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen here for the Oneonta Outlaws in the bottom of the 3rd. 2 runs have come across to score. Jamie Z at first, Justin Ford at second, Casey Comiskey coming to the dish when we come back. Daniel Payton, the new arm for the Outlaws, here in the bottom of the 3rd after Evan Staroba let up 4 straight singles to start off this bottom of the 3rd, knocking him out of the game.
Payton from Hudson Valley Community College. This is his 3rd appearance for the Outlaws this season. He's pitched 2 innings, given up 4 hits and 4 earned runs this summer for the Outlaws.
And had a 3.6 ERA in 5 innings pitched with Hudson Valley Community College this past season. So a guy who's familiar playing in this territory faces Casey Comiskey here in his first at-bat, and this one is sent out into the outfield by Porter. Both runners move up 90 feet, an unforced error from Zach Porter, and the Stallions are really in business now. Runners at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out.
The errors coming back to bite the Outlaws. Last year, when these two teams played 3 times, the Outlaws made 10 errors, already 2 here in the first 3 innings.
And Z was very off the bag at first base. But then Porter threw down and simply skied it over first baseman Connor Wading. Comiskey with a chance to come up clutch, had a walk last inning. Fouls it back for strike 2. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Stallions have plated 2 here in the bottom of the 3rd, looking for more. Payton deals. Comiskey smokes it down the left field line, foul. Comiskey, 2 RBIs this season, has a chance to double that total with the ball to the outfield in this at-bat.
He knocked in 52 in 53 games played this spring for Seton Hall.
Knows how to drive runners home. Trying to do it again. Does go around on the strikeout. Drop third strike as Ford comes home, and it works. Stallions use the K to their advantage. Ford with some aggressive base running, and it's 4-1.
Justin Ford putting pressure on the Oneonta defense. Sometimes it takes a perfect throw to beat you, and that's exactly what Oneonta needed on that play. Justin Ford taking a chance, and it's paying off big time.
And the Stallions, now in this inning, 4 singles and a drop third strikeout, which brings home Ford. They've put 3 on the board, and this offense finally coming to life. And they've really struggled the last few games. Logan Sanchez at the dish. He walked last inning. Stallions loaded the bases. Jack Painter brought home 1 run. But then Luis Rodriguez and Cameron Carroll with back-to-back outs to leave ducks on the pond for the Stallions in the second. Z standing over at second base. Sanchez trying to bring him home. Logan, or Lolo as they like to call him, had 3 RBIs last game against the Outlaws.
In 2 games against the Outlaws this season, he's 4 for 10 with 4 RBIs. So thus far in the early season for the Stallions, Sanchez loves to face these Outlaw pitchers.
Third game between these two sides. All of them have been played here at home. Stallions will take a trip to Damaski Field next week. Sanchez with a big cut and a miss on the off speed. It's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to Sanchez. The pitch. Down low, it gets away from Porter. Z moves up over to third, and now the job becomes a lot easier for Sanchez to bring home the 4th run of this inning.
The Outlaws are going to bring the infield in, so anywhere hard on the ground, Jamie Z might have to freeze over there at third base, maybe see it through.
2-2, smacked into right field. Richards under it. This will score a run. Z coming home. It was a rocket of a throw from Richards out there. Reached home on a hop. It's not enough. Sanchez with his 4th RBI in the last 2 games against the Outlaws, and it's 5-1 Ponies.
Again, these Stallion hitters not trying to do too much. No extra base hits, 4 singles, 2 productive outs. The drop third strike scored a run. That sac fly just scored a run. Not trying to do too much in the box. Just pass the baton to the next hitter and work the count.
Every hitter but Cameron Carroll has reached base safely in this game for the Stallions. Shows how much improvement they've shown here in game number 10. Jack Painter at the dish, who had an RBI single in the bottom of the second. That plated the first run of this game for Saugerties. And Nick, this really seeming like the Stallions team that we knew in the first 4 games of the year.
They put up double-digit runs in 3 of those first 4 games. Like you said, the Stallions offense coming to play in this one.
And in the standings right now, the Stallions sit at 4-5, 5 games off of Amsterdam for the top spot. And they're chasing Boonville and Mohawk Valley right now. Both those teams half a game and a game ahead of the Stallions respectively. Peyton locates for strike 2. And Boonville is going to be an easy team to catch as 2 of their guys from Texas A&M are headed to the Bristol Blues in the NECBL. So they'll be losing some of their guys soon. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. The pitch to Painter. Cut and a miss for strike 3. Peyton gets out of the inning, but not before Saugerties scratches across 4 to make this a 5-1 game. Nick Zuppi will have you on play-by-play in the top of the fourth when we come back.
Welcome back to Cantine Field. Nick Zuppi alongside Dan Shalom. Top of the fourth between the Stallions and the Outlaws. The top of the fourth is presented to you by Saugerties Dutchman, a community-based youth baseball program that provides competitive and development-focused teams for kids ages 8 to 16. But Dan, we have to go back to the third inning. The Stallions put up multiple runs in an inning for only the second time in their last 4 games.
They've just been waiting for that to happen, Nick, and it finally did. Had a huge morale boost for this team as well to have 5 runs on the board in the first 3 innings. This is what they should be doing against the last-place team in the PGCBL.
They did it by way of the single. Croce, Haben-Siefken, Ford, and Z all had 4 consecutive singles to start the scoring for the Stallions. Keller Osmond is still on the mound for the Stallions. First pitch to Dane Richards is strike 1. Dan, Osmond has looked tremendous thus far, only surrendering 2 hits through the first 3.
He's had to deal with a little bit of self-inflicted traffic, but outside of that, has been sharp so far for this team, and they want him to keep going. That's been the game plan for him this year.
Osmond has 3 strikeouts here in the early going. He didn't have a single K in the only start of the season against Glens Falls. This one is put in play by Richards. High hop to Croce. He fires over to first, and it is in time to retire Richards for the first out here in the top of the fourth.
A nice play right there by Croce at short. And we've seen that get away from him a couple times, but that time just plants that foot and fires a dart across the diamond.
Croce waited for the big hop, and like you said, throwing a dart across the diamond. Third base coach for the Outlaws having a quick conversation with the home plate umpire, Bob Strempek. Following Richards in the batting order, hitting 7th is the shortstop Zachary Robinson. Standing 6 foot, 165. In this one, he walked and stole second, back in the second inning. Osmond doesn't operate out of the windup. First pitch is a strike. And Osmond, thus far in this one, 3 walks, 3 hits, but more importantly, he's left 5 Outlaw runners on base when the inning ended. 0-1 to Robinson in the dirt, ball 1. Keller
Very
Osmond.
nice job so far of, after getting into trouble, really grinding out these at-bats and not letting any hard contact get onto the infield or outfield.
The 1-1 to Robinson is fouled off back to the screen, but the Stallions' defense has been one of the issues so far, but tonight it's been a positive. Casey Kaminsky with one beautiful diving play to his left, made a great pop-up foul grab down the third base line earlier in the game. Justin Ford, full extension dive in the third. Keller Osmond definitely getting help from his defense. 2-2 now on Robinson. Robbins, last time these two teams played, he went 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. The 2-2 is in the dirt, ball 3. Robinson, after being down 0-2, works himself back in the count, 3-2. The Oneonta shortstop has only played in 2 games thus far for the Outlaws here in the PGCBL, both against Saugerties. The payoff is a slow breaker in there, strike 3. Keller Osmond picks up his 4th strikeout of the game. Robinson goes down looking for the first time this game. 2 quick outs here for the Stallions in the top of the 4th.
And the first time in this game, Nick, that Keller Osmond has not had to deal with runners on with 2 outs. He's had runners at first and second in every inning with 2 outs on the board. This time has a chance for a 1-2-3.
First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. A big part of that is that the leadoff runner has reached base in every inning. So like you said, Osmond has done a good job of working his way out of traffic. The 1-0 pitch is in the dirt, ball 2. Ian Wirtz now up to the dish for the Outlaws. He's 0 for 1 in this one with a strikeout. Wirtz has only played in 1 game this PGCBL. It was against Amsterdam, where he went 0 for 2 with an RBI and 2 walks. Takes this one in there, strike 2. Keller Osmond now in a 2-1 count. Osmond working very quickly. 2-1 pitch is a high pop-up in between short and third. Croce calling off Comiskey. The shortstop makes the grab to retire the side. Keller Osmond works a 1-2-3 inning here on the top of the 4th. We're going to the bottom half. Saugerties up 5-1 when we come back.
Well, we have a little competition. The best chicken dancer on the field gets a baseball from the Stallions.
It's fine.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
You're good.
Jeez, what happened there? Fuck. Welcome back to Cantine Field here on the bottom of the 4th inning, presented to you by Saugerties Dutchman, community-based youth baseball program providing competitive and development-focused teams for kids ages to 16. Keller Osmond threw 4 innings on the mound for the Stallions, only giving up 1 run and 3 hits through this one. But it will be the top of the order for the Stallions. Luis Rodriguez to lead things off. In this one, he's 0 for 1 with a walk and a pop out to the catcher.
And in this game, Rodriguez had the leadoff walk with 2 stolen bases in the first, but after that, just popped up to the catcher with the bases loaded, so he's looking for revenge in this at-bat.
It'll be Rodriguez, Carroll, and Croce. First 3 due up for the Stallions. Rodriguez takes ball 1 against Daniel Patton in his 3rd outing for the Outlaws. Rodriguez gets in the box. Patton got through 1 inning in relief of Evan Starba. The 1-0 pitch is missed the zone, ball 2. It was the middle of the order that got things started for the Stallions in that 4-run 3rd inning. They're due up here. Rodriguez takes a ball on the outside corner. Peyton misses with the fastball. Now 3-0 on the Saugerties leadoff hitter.
And it was really the 4 straight singles that started that 3rd inning, and it shows you the Stallions were not trying to crush the ball, just playing base to base.
3-0 to Rodriguez is inside, ball 4. Rodriguez, that's what he's done. He's walks, he gets on base, and more importantly, he steals bases. Rodriguez last game against Oneonta, he had 2 walks and stole 2 bases. In this one already, he has 2 walks and stole 2 bases.
He's looking possibly for another steal right here, with Peyton being a righty, and he has a somewhat lengthy delivery. Could definitely be a spot for Rodriguez if he gets a good jump to go over.
It'll be Cameron Carroll up next for the Stallions. First pitch to him is in there, strike one. Peyton paints a fastball in the inside corner.
Carroll with 2 hard-hit balls today to the outfield that could arguably both be hits, both lineouts, just a matter of time till one drops.
Carroll, the only Stallion that has not reached base. Rodriguez runs away from first. The throw from Porter is not in time. Short hop from Porter. Good backup from the second baseman, Connolly. Rodriguez steals his 3rd base of the game and 7th already against the Outlaws here in 2.5 games.
And Nick, right there, was a ridiculous jump from Rodriguez at first base. He was nearly where Connor Wading is standing right now, over at first base, which is probably a solid 24 inches.
Carroll lines this one down the right field line. Richards fields it in right. Rodriguez is rounding third, coming home. Richards makes a bad throw in. No one is there. It's around the pitcher's mound. Rodriguez scores standing up. Carroll picks up his first extra base hit for the Stallions. First RBI here at Cantine. 3rd of the short season. 6-1 Stallions.
And Nick, what did I tell you? It was just a matter of time until one drop for Cameron Carroll. He's been making loud, hard contact all night. This time just loops it down the right field line, and it's enough to bring Rodriguez home and extend the Stallion lead.
With Carroll on second, now every single Stallion hitter has reached base. Croce now in there, the shortstop for Saugerties, takes ball 1. In this one, he went down looking back in the first inning and then started the rally in the 3rd. He led it off with a single, stole second, and then eventually came around to score on a Hobbin-Siefkin single.
And with that Carroll hit, every hitter in the Stallions lineup has reached base tonight.
Carroll away from second. Peyton now checks him 3 times. The 1-0 to Croce is outside, ball 2. Nick Croce, who came into the previous at-bat, 2 for his last 21. That line drive up the middle has got to boost his confidence in the box.
Oh, no doubt. And I think all of these Stallions hitters are just having a bounce-back night. Here tonight, at least early on, they have 6 runs on 6 hits through just 3 innings right now, if you want to be technical. And there's really no signs in stopping. All of these hitters here tonight are not trying to do too much. And it's felt like over the last few games, a few of them have been swinging for the fences, and this time just shortening the swings and making hard contact.
Mound visit from Porter and Peyton out on the mound. 2-0 count to Croce with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. Croce takes outside 3-0. First base is open after the Carroll RBI double that scored Rodriguez. Hobbin-Siefkin looms on deck. Action is, people are throwing over there in the Oneonta bullpen, a right-hander. The 3-0 to Croce, he green light swinging, lined foul, now 3-1 on the shortstop.
That one scared me from here, and Croce's not even a lefty. That ball had some mustard on it.
Croce, back when these two teams played the first time, he had 2 different RBI doubles. Ahead in the count, 3-1. Nick Croce lines this one down the left field line. It will go out of play. Strike 2 now. Daniel Peyton working his way back into the count. Full count.
He's early right now on both of the fastballs that he's been dealt in the last 2 pitches. If he just waits till it gets a little bit further into his stance, that ball's going to be pimped somewhere on the field.
Peyton works his way back into the count. The payoff. Croce just gets a piece. 3-2. We'll do it again. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. Nick Croce now seen 8 pitches in that at-bat. 3 foul balls.
Hey, 8 pitches for number 8.
Daniel Peyton wearing number 9. He is in relief of Evan Starba, who went 2+, came out, nobody out in the bottom of the 3rd. The 3-2 from him. Croce lines this one to left field. Going back is the left fielder, Rowe. It is off the wall, and it is gone. Nick Croce hits a homer over the left field fence. The Stallions now scoring 3 in this inning. 8-1 Saugerties over the Outlaws. Nick Croce.
Croce fouled those first two off into the left field foul territory, and it just felt like with the contact he was making in foul territory, that one was going to go yard, and he finally got his pitch. Doesn't waste any time on that one. It's a fastball that's left high in the zone, and he just smacks it to deep left field, and he is hyped up after that.
Croce had the 3-0 green light, showing why. Home run to left field, clearing that 355 mark in left. Nick Croce, the extra base hit that Saugerties was looking for. First of the night, second. Cameron Carroll had an RBI double the batter before.
And here's the thing, that's his first home run at the collegiate level. So got to be pretty cool to see Nick Croce take 1 yard.
1-0 now to Travis Hobbins-Siefken, is upstairs ball 2. This is a guy who also has home run pop. Prior to the Croce long ball, he had the only 2 homers for Saugerties. Both of those going out over that left field fence here at Cantine. The 2-0 from Peyton. Hobbins-Siefken lines this one foul, similar to how Croce did. 2-1 now on Hobbins-Siefken.
If you want a guy who could possibly string together back-to-back home runs, Travis Hobbins-Siefken is your guy. Before that home run there by Croce, he was the only one on the team that went yard.
Hobbins-Siefken lines this one down the left field line, and it is fair. It will go off the wall. Rowe finally fields it, throws it in. Hobbins-Siefken has a stand-up double, back-to-back extra base hits for the Stallions here in the bottom of the 4th.
Ooh, I'll tell you one thing, Nick. The bats are hot right now for the Stallions. It seems like there's no end in sight for these hitters right now, and it's going to produce a mound visit and a Dallas Hot Wieners called to the bullpen here from Keaton Martin, the head coach of the Outlaws.
In his second inning of work, Daniel Payton just got absolutely knocked around by the Stallions, gives up 6 hits. But like Dan said, we have a Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen. Stallions leading 8-1 when we come back. Welcome back. Bottom of the 5th. Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen. But we're going to take a look back at that double from Travis Hobbins-Siefken that made.
No, we're looking at the home run here, Nick.
Oh, excuse me. Nick Croce going far and away into the Saugerties night here in left field for a long home run.
I think you're just getting too caught up with the extra base hits. It's been 3 in a row. I know it's a lot to keep track of.
I'm surprised. The Stallion hitters finally having some extra bases. They came into this one in the bottom half of the PGCBL in extra base hits, but 3 of them here in this inning alone. Stallion hitters having a field day. Put up 4 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. Now 3 runs here in the bottom of the 4th. But let's get to the Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen for Oneonta. Colin Carver just completed his sophomore year at Marist, local guy, Marist, New York, where he pitched in only 2 games. He gave 1 inning, gave up 6 earned runs, got knocked around a little bit in those 2 appearances.
That ERA sits at 54, but you can't really judge a guy off ERA in only 1 innings pitched. It's more fair to go back to the previous year where he has an ERA sitting around 13, pitched in just around 7 innings for the Marist Red Foxes. So a couple of teammates going at each other here. Luis Rodriguez and Carver if Carver's still in the game when Rodriguez does come to bat. But Nick, just an offensive explosion. The Stallions have been waiting for this to happen over the last few games, and it finally feels like they're playing their brand of baseball again.
The Stallions came into this one in their last 5 hitting 187. They have 7 hits in these last 2 innings, 4 in the third and now 3 here in the fourth. The Stallion offense finally firing on all cylinders, and it is an offense that has fired on all cylinders, scoring double-digit runs in 3 of its first 4 games. First pitch from Carver is outside ball 1 to one of the best, if not the best hitter in this Stallions lineup, number 55, Justin Ford.
He's been electric so far this season, 428, coming in through 7 games, and already has an RBI single here tonight.
1 for 2, came around to score 2 runs though. Hobbins-Siefken bouncing away from second. Pitch in the dirt, 2-0 now on Ford. Ford back in the second inning. Had a ground ball to first that went through Wading's legs over there, reached base, stole second, and then came around to score on a Jack Painter RBI single when the bases were loaded.
And Nick, mind you, still no outs in this inning, and 4 Stallion hitters have reached base safely.
Ford lines this one to left field, and it is a fair ball. Hobbins-Siefken will score standing up. Rowe finally fields it to the shortstop, Robinson. Justin Ford has yet another extra base hit for the Stallions. That is 4 in a row. A double from Carroll, home run from Croce, Hobbins-Siefken, and Ford now back-to-back doubles.
Is something in the air right now? That's 4 straight extra base hits for this team, and Ford just got all of that one nearly parallel to the one that Hobbins-Siefken hit. Just a taser down the left field line, and welcome to the game, Colin Carver. Hope you're having a nice evening.
Jamie Z goes fishing for that one, strike 1. But Ford has been one of the guys in this lineup that has shown extra base prowess this season. That's his 4th double already. He's by far and away the team leader in that statistic. Jamie Z now in the box. In this one, he's 0 for 1. He had one of those 4 singles back in the 3rd inning that were all in a row. Carver ahead 0-1 on the incoming Notre Dame freshman. Z fouls that one back 0-2 now, and we'll have a meeting. Zach Porter goes out to talk to Carver.
This scoreline is looking awfully similar to the first time the Outlaws came here to Cantine Field. Saugerties scored a run in the second, run in the third, and then back-to-back 4-run innings for them in the 7th and 8th. They've put together back-to-back 4-run innings here this time, only in the 3rd and the 4th, and there's still nobody out with Ford at second base.
Z, another Stallion in the box that has very strong extra base potential. He had 16 of those hits in his senior year at Bergen Catholic. 4 of those cleared fences, 4 home runs.
And there is an arm getting warm for the Stallions in the pen for the next half inning.
Z goes fishing, 3 chases for a strikeout in this one. First out finally here in the bottom of the 4th after 4 straight Stallions reach base.
It was bound to come to an end at some point, and Z just not with great discipline right there. Chases down in the zone, but it really doesn't matter in an 8-run ball game right now.
Following Z is Casey Kaminsky playing third base today. In this one, he's 0 for 1. First pitch to him goes back to the backstop. Good bounce back to the catcher, Porter, but Ford will take third regardless. Kaminsky now has another RBI opportunity with Ford moving up 90 feet. Kaminsky in this one 0 for 1 with a walk, struck out back in the 3rd. But it was his drop 3rd strike that Ford came around to score on in that inning. When Porter threw over to first, Ford bolted for home, sliding in safely.
Infield in here for Oneonta. They don't want to let anything more home.
Down 9-1, Oneonta doing whatever they can to keep themselves in it. Kaminsky takes a fastball inside 3-0 now. Logan Sanchez on deck, who also has an RBI in this one, but he has 4 against the Outlaws in the previous 2 games.
Bring him on. I'd love to see some Logan Sanchez power at the dish.
The 3-0 pitch is in there for strike 1 on the outside corner. Colin Carver throws his first strike to Casey Kaminsky. CC on the mound. CC in the box. Carver to Kaminsky. Fastball in there, strike 2. Carver works his way now back to full. Infield still in. Justin Ford on third after his RBI double scored Haben Siefkin. The batter following Ford was Z, who struck out swinging. The payoff is in the dirt. Ball 4. Casey Kaminsky walks for the second time in this one. Second in the last 3 innings, bringing up Logan Sanchez with runners on the corners and 1 out.
Back-to-back innings with 4 runs for the Stallions. Also back-to-back innings where they've started with 4 consecutive hits. In this inning, though, extra base hits compared to just singles, and that's why there's already 4 on the board and runners at the corners with 1 out.
The highlight has got to be Nick Crosey's 2-run bomb to left field, clearing that 355 sign in left. His first home run this summer, but his first home run in college ball. Having 0 at Chipotle College this past spring. Sanchez chases the fastball upstairs. 0-1 on the first baseman.
And he wanted that one back. Didn't really want to swing at that pitch. Just kind of forced into it.
This is the 3rd time the Stallions are playing the Outlaws. Saugerties won both. Just 2 days ago, they won 5-4. Comiskey running away from first. No throw from Porter. Comiskey slides in safely at second. So now runners on second and third for Sanchez.
4th stolen bag of the game for Saugerties, and why not break up the double play? Infield come back in for Oneonta.
Carver ahead 0-2. His pitch is bounced in the dirt. Nice block from the catcher, Porter. 1-2 now on Sanchez. Sanchez against the Outlaws here in 2.5 games is 4 for 9 with 5 RBIs. The 1-2 pitch to him is outside, ball 2. Logan Sanchez, who's hit anywhere from 6 to 8 in this Stallions lineup this season, he's been one of the guys at the bottom of the order that has been producing runs for Saugerties. The 2-2 pitch is fouled away. We'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Justin Ford away from third. Casey Kaminsky on second. Stallions have plated 4 here in the inning. 9-1 Saugerties over Oneonta.
This seems like a perfect time for another one of those bloop singles here from Sanchez. Infield's way in, so also a hard hit ball could get through.
Carver's pitch is popped up foul again. 3 straight foul balls now from Sanchez, doing whatever he can. First base is open, so a walk would have him reach base and set up Jack Painter for another bases loaded opportunity where in his previous at-bat, it was successful. He had an RBI base hit that scored Justin Ford back in the 2nd inning. The 2-2. Sanchez lines this one to left field. Going back is the left fielder Rowe on the track. He makes the catch, crashing into the wall. Comiskey goes up 90 feet from second to third, but more importantly, Justin Ford goes up 90 feet from third to home. Logan Sanchez, 2 sac fly RBIs in this one, 2 sac fly RBIs in the last game as well. Logan Sanchez producing runs for the Stallions here against the Outlaws this season.
And you can just see the smile on Sanchez's face coming back to the dugout. He knew he was once again close to setting this one out of the park, but he still does a job with the sac fly right there.
First pitch, Painter fouls this one away. Strike 1 down the left field line. Colin Carver in relief of Daniel Payton, who was greeted rudely here in the 4th. 4 straight extra base hits to start the inning. Carver has done a nice job of limiting the damage, gotten 2 outs in the 3 batter he faced. His second pitch of the AB is in there for a strike. Jack Painter now behind 0-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. The Stallions send all 9 guys in the lineup to hit here in the bottom of the 4th. Luis Rodriguez led off the inning. He is on deck. The 0-2. Painter goes swing and a miss. Strike 3. Drop third strike. Porter fields behind the dish. The rocket over to waiting at first. Retires Jack Painter over at first base. Stallions plate 5. 4 extra base hits. Nick Crosey, 2-run home run over the left field fence in left here at Cantine. 10-1. Stallions over the Outlaws. Top of the 5th when we come back. Wait, do you want it?
There he is.
Another break? No, we're good.
No, we're good.
If you could just find his stats from last year. Welcome back to Cantine Memorial Field. Nick Zuppi alongside Dan Shalom, top of the 5th for the Stallions. They played 5 in the bottom of the 4th inning, and the Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen. Sean Duke in relief for Keller Osmond. Keller Osmond, 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run to go along with 4 strikeouts. But Sean Duke is a guy who's familiar to the Stallions. He played with this team back in 2024. And Dan, how did he do?
He was here last season with the Stallions. 6.75 ERA. In 6 games started, 12 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, 14 walks, 9 hits. He's a guy that's going to come in and simply put the ball in play. He's a pitch to contact hitter, not necessarily known for the strikeouts, but was an arm that the Stallions could rely on last year. And he's also a local guy, too, from Rhinebeck, just 25 minutes away from here.
Good friends with one of our social media guys, Jack Viator. Rhinebeck, New York native. He will be greeting Connor Wading, the number 9 hitter in the Outlaw lineup. First pitch is not a strike, it is a ball. Connor Wading in this one is 0 for 1. He walked back in the second. Sean Duke making his 2025 Saugerties Stallions debut here in the top of the 5th inning. Second pitch to Wading is low in the dirt. Ball 2. Going back to last inning, 4 straight extra base hits. It started with Cameron Carroll. RBI double that scored Rodriguez. Nick Croce with a 2-run homer that Carroll came around to score on. Hobbin, Siefkin, and Ford back-to-back doubles. And then Logan Sanchez finished things off with a sac fly to right field. Duke's 3-0 pitch is in there, strike 1. His first strike of the 2025 summer for the Stallions. Sean Duke, the North Carolina A&T product, just finished his junior season with the Aggies. 3-1 pitch, it misses, ball 4. So Oneonta has the leadoff runner on for the second time this game. Back in the first inning, Brendan Connolly started things off with a single, but since then, the leadoff runner has not reached base.
And Duke got a lot of run at North Carolina A&T this past year, 17 appearances, a 10.80 ERA, over 20 innings, trying to find his footing here with the Stallions. He is also in the portal.
Second guy he will face this inning is Kaz Uhara, the center fielder, who back in the second inning hit a chopper back to Osmond, fielded it, flipped it over to first to retire the side back in the second. Duke ahead of the Tokyo native, 0-1. Uhara lines this one out of play foul, 0-2. Sean Duke and Kaz Uhara, different experience levels. Duke, obviously, like Dan just said, made 17 appearances this past spring for the Aggies, but Uhara did not play in a single game for Wofford this past spring. Duke ahead 0-2. Fastball is upstairs, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kaz Uhara hit leadoff just 2 days ago for the Outlaws against the Stallions. In that one, he went 1 for 3 with a run. He also walked, but he stole 3 bases. Duke's 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt, ball 2. Nice stop from Carroll. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Counts back to even.
Carroll's been sound behind the plate. So far in this game on pass balls, really hasn't let anything by him so far.
Waiting away from first after the 5-pitch walk to him. 2-2 pitch is upstairs, 3-2 now. Sean Duke makes the count full in back-to-back hitters here in the top of the 5th inning. 10-1 is your score. Saugerties over Oneonta. Hits are 3 in favor, 3 for the Outlaws, and 9 for the Stallions. The payoff is fouled away back to the screen. Uhara doing whatever he can to stay alive and pass the baton to the next hitter, Brendan Connolly, the top of the order for the Outlaws. Connolly in this one is hot. He's 2 for 2. Singles in the first and the third. Duke set at the belt, waiting, not going anywhere over at first. Uhara checks his swing. The appeal And it is a strike 3 call. Frank Parker rings up Uhara on the check swing. He's in disbelief. Sean Duke picks up his first strikeout of the summer for Saugerties. We're going to take another look at this one. Just a great breaking ball from the right-hander.
And I'll be honest here, I don't know if I necessarily agree with Bob Strempek behind the plate. I mean, he didn't even really swing. But according to Strempek, he breaks the plate. So Duke will take that. And the Stallions certainly won't complain about it. There's one down.
One out for Brendan Connolly, the second baseman for the Outlaws. First pitch to him, he goes fishing in the dirt. Strike 1.
Excuse me, on that last one, strikeout looking, not swinging on Uhara. That was a low strike call at the bottom of the zone.
Connolly came into this one struggling, but his 2 hits have doubled his batting average. The 0-1 pitch is upstairs, ball 1. Connolly, last time these two teams played, just 2 days ago, he was 1 for 4 with a strikeout. 5'10", 180. Hits from the left side, but throws from the right side. Sean Duke throwing from the right side, out on the mound for the Stallions. His 1-1 pitch goes off of Carroll's glove. Waiting gets a bad read on it over at first. Does not advance to second on the pass ball from Carroll.
Should have had free 90 feet right there. Waiting, just not being attentive.
Sean Duke in relief of Kellen Osmond, who was just spectacular. Gave the Stallions length, 4 innings. The 2-1 pitch is lined up the middle for a base hit. Ford will field it in left. Waiting will stop at second. Brendan Connolly is now 3 for 3 in this one. He has more hits in this game than he had on the season coming into this one. He was 2 for 14. Now he's 3 for 3 in this game. Now it is Zach Rowe's turn, who also came into this game on fire.
He's doing everything right for this Oneonta team despite them trailing by 9. 3 for 3, 3 singles for Connolly. You can't help your team out much more than that.
Runners on first and second, 1 out for Zach Rowe. Carroll, snap throw away at first, gets away, goes off the runner. Sanchez can't find it. It will be Z picking it up, but the runner waiting goes from second to third. So now runners on the corners here with 1 out, but it was Carroll's throw that actually ricocheted off of Connolly over at first. That caused Sanchez to not be able to locate it.
Well, Nick, it didn't even ricochet. It nailed Connolly over at first. He was just laying on the bag after that because he just got hit in the thigh by that throw, and that's why you see home plate umpire Bob Strempek just taking a little bit of time right there because he got full-on hit by that throw from Carroll, which was somewhat unnecessary to allows Waiting to move up to third.
Osmond in a little bit of a jam here. 1 out, runners on the corners for the number 2 hitter in the Oneonta lineup. This one is bounced in the dirt. Nice block there from Carroll. 1 ball and 1 strike. Zach Rowe in this one is actually 0 for 1. He came in for the injured Nathan Bose, who was originally playing left field and batting second. Rowe, in his only at-bat in the third, hit a foul pop to Kaminsky over at third base. The 1-1 pitch is a check swing that he goes around on. Home plate umpire Bob Strempek signals a strike. 1 and 2 now. Duke on Rowe. Sean Duke had 15 strikeouts in 17 appearances, looking for his first of the summer. Rowe lines previous pitch back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll do it again. 1 out.
And it couldn't have been more convenient for Rowe to play summer ball here with Oneonta. He goes to Suneonta and plays college baseball there during the regular season.
The 1-2 pitch. Runner away from first. Porter's throw is in time to nail Connolly. A strike him out, throw him out. Double play here in the top of the 5th to end things. Sean Duke puts up a 0 with the help from his catcher, Cameron Carroll, nailing the runner at second base. So when we come back, Stallions winning 10-1 and now batting. Welcome back to the bottom of the fifth. The Stallions leading 10-1 and now coming to hit with the top of the order rolling around. All 9 Stallions came to hit in the bottom of the fourth, but in the top of the fifth, their defense with a highlight play. Cameron Carroll nails the runner at second base on a strike him out, throw him out double play.
Helps out Sean Duke a little bit as he was dealing with runners at the corners and gets out of everything, puts up a 0. And now an interesting matchup to start off this fifth. 2 Marist guys going at it. Colin Carver was with the Red Foxes this past season, and obviously, as was Luis Rodriguez.
Carver is the second Marist product that the Outlaws have thrown on the mound. The first one being Logan Scholl. The right-hander started the game for the Outlaws the last time these two teams played, just 2 days ago, right here at Cantine Field. But this bottom of the fifth inning is brought to you by the Saugerties Athletic Association. The SAA is the home of youth basketball, men's and women's softball, men's and women's volleyball, and golf leagues for the local Saugerties area. Rodriguez lines this one to center field. Coming in on Izuhara. He makes the one-handed running play to retire Rodriguez. One out here in the bottom of the fifth.
Uhara's been sound out there in center field all game long. Stole a base hit earlier from Cameron Carroll, and that time makes a nice running grab on Luis Rodriguez.
Cameron Carroll now up. You know the expression, make a good play. Defensively, you're due up in the next inning. Here he is, batting in second in the lineup. In this one, he's 1 for 3, hit a fly out to center field where Uhara robbed him of extra bases, like Dan just said. He also had a fly out to right. That was also a laser to Richards out and right. And then he also hit another laser down the right field line, an RBI double that Rodriguez came around to score on. The 1-0 pitch to him is in there, strike one.
And if you're the Stallions, the idea of mercying the Outlaws is starting to come onto your mind here in the bottom of the fifth. They could end this game in the top of the seventh, if up by 10.
That mercy would be the first for the Stallions this year. Despite the skid here in the early part of the season for the Stallions, losing 4 of their last 5 games, they did have the lead at some point in that game, in each of them. So the Stallions, despite coming up short in those games, are playing competitive baseball. They're not getting blown out. Games that could have gone either way. Carver's 2-1 is a swing and a miss, strike 2. Count back to even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Stallions leading 10-1. Carver set at the belt, winds and fires. Misses the zone, 3-2. Cameron Carroll doing a nice job here, working the count back to full. Up next is Nick Croce, who last time he hit back in the 4th inning, launched a 2-run home run over the left field fence. His first of the summer for Saugerties. The 3-2 from Carver hits Carroll in the hand, so Cameron Carroll reaches base for the second time this game. Bringing up the home run hitter, Nick Croce.
Croce just bombed that one earlier. A lot of flight on it into deep left field and went yard on that. So they're looking for more of that here in this AB.
First pitch to Croce is a fastball on the outside corner in there, strike 1. Carroll away from first after getting hit by the pitch. Croce last year at Chipotle College hit .228. He had 3 home runs in 101 at-bats. One ball, 1 strike on the shortstop. Hitter hit a far foul ball down the left field line and then followed up with another one. And then ultimately followed those 2 swings up with a deep homer to left. Carver wanting no part of him. Fastball misses, 3-1 now on Croce. Carroll away from first. The pitch. Croce fouls this one off himself. We'll do it again. Nick Rossi doing a good job of working counts in this game. Came into this one 2 for his last 20, but he has broken out in a big way. A liner up the middle, and then, as we've been talking about all night, his far home run into the night sky here in Saugerties to left field. 3 balls now and 2 strikes. Count goes full. Carver goes full on back-to-back Saugerties hitters. Carroll got hit by the pitch in the previous at-bat. Now Crosey doing a nice job here of working the count. Back to full.
Crosey had the home run, too, in a 3-2 count last at-bat.
Carroll going away from first. Crosey will take ball 4. So Carroll gets to move up 90 feet for free on the walk despite the steal attempt. Nick Crosey reaches base for the 3rd time in this one, bringing up the 4-hole hitter, Travis Hobbin-Siefken. But before Hobbin-Siefken steps up to the dish, we're going to have a Dallas Halloweeners call to the bullpen. A right-hander coming out of the bullpen for Oneonta. Runners on second and first. Carroll on second, Crosey on first for Hobbin-Siefken. When we come back, Stallions lead 10-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Welcome back. Bottom of the 5th inning, presented to you by the Saugerties Athletic Association. Dallas Halloweeners call to the bullpen. Brian Dangler now on the mound for the Outlaws in relief of Colin Carver. Runners on second and first. Cameron Carroll was hit by the pitch. He's on second. Nick Crosey just walked. He's on first. Now Travis Hobbin-Siefken is in the box. He lines this one to the right center gap. O'Hara will cut off and field it. Cameron Carroll will come around and score standing up. Now Hobbin-Siefken going for second with nobody there. He slides in safely. Travis Hobbin-Siefken picks up his 2nd RBI double of the night, his 3rd RBI of the game. Runners on 2nd and 3rd, and more importantly now, the Stallions are up 10 with a chance to mercy the Outlaws.
Welcome to the game, Brian Dangler. The submariner right there. And Hobbin-Siefken's all over it, just tasers it into right center field. Easy double for him and heads up base running to take second. He's now 3 for 4 on the day with 2 RBIs and 2 doubles.
He's also scored 2 runs and stole a base. Justin Ford now in the box, who he himself has had a busy day for the Stallions. He's 2 for 3, reached on an error back in the 2nd, but he had an RBI double in the 5-run 4th for Saugerties. Runners on second and third. Croce walked and reached third on the Hobbin-Siefken double. The Outlaws playing their defense back. 1-0 pitch to Ford is outside, ball 2-0. Brian Dangler for the Outlaws appeared in 10 games for Russell Sage College, where he pitched 10 2/3 innings. He had a record of 0-1, but pitched to an ERA of 14.34. Now on the mound for the Outlaws. Behind in the count, 3-0 on the number 5 hitter in the Stallions lineup, left fielder Justin Ford. 3-0 pitch is upstairs, ball 4. Maybe a intentional walk there to Ford. He's been the hottest hitter for the Stallions. Bringing up one of the new guys, Jamie Z, the rising freshman to Notre Dame next year. Just completed his senior year at Bergen Catholic. This is his third game now for the Stallions.
This could be a big win here for Saugerties. Boonville is currently trailing Glens Falls 5-2. Mohawk Valley was off tonight, and Amsterdam on the ropes a little bit, leading 6-5 up there in Utica. So if the Stallions close things out here, they could make ground on all 3 teams ahead of them if the Blue Sox mount a comeback. And at the worst, they still stay 5 games back of Amsterdam, but make up some ground on second and third.
The Stallions only a half game back of Boonville, so a win for the Stallions and a loss for Boonville. They would swap places in the standings, but a win here for the Stallions would make them only a half of game behind Mohawk Valley, who are currently placed second, who are also 4 games behind Amsterdam thus far in the PGCBL. Z fouls the pitch back, 2-1 now on number 10, the second baseman today. Brian Dangler in relief of Colin Carver, who got knocked around a little bit. The 2-1 pitch from the sidewinder is in the dirt, ball 3. Jamie Z came into this one 2 for his first 9 with an OBP of 300. The 3-1 pitch to him is fouled away. Count is now full, 3-2. The Outlaw defense are in at the corners. Looks like they will come home on a hard ground ball. Trying to now Croce at the plate, but the double play is also in order with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. The payoff is outside, ball 4. Jamie Z picks up an RBI on the walk. Nick Croce will come around to score. 12-1 Stallions. Base is still full of ponies. Casey Kaminsky due next.
Pouring it on right now, and why not? Close out this game with confidence if you're the Stallions and put some insurance on that mercy rule. If the Stallions are leading by 10 by the end of the top of the 7th, this game will be over.
First pitch to Kaminsky is a strike. Dangler going with the breaking ball. Bases still juiced. Hobbin-Siefken over at third. Ford over at second. And Jamie Z just reached first on the walk. Brings up Casey Kaminsky with the bases loaded. The 0-1 pitch misses. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
I'm interested to see how fast pitches are coming in from Dangler right now. With that submariner, he's not getting a lot of velocity on a fastball.
His 1-1 pitch is lined to right field. Richards making a run on it, will make the grab. Tagging is Hobbin-Siefken. Richards' throw to the plate, no tag from Porter.
Why not right there? Another run for the Stallions. It's been RBIs galore in this game for this team. If you go up and down the order right now, every guy except for Luis Rodriguez has brought a run home tonight.
But Luis Rodriguez has done a nice job of getting on base and setting the tone. He's been on base twice tonight, both by way of the walk.
Hottest bat right now in the Stallions lineup, Logan Sanchez at the dish.
First pitch to him is in there, strike 1. Sanchez in this game playing first base, but he has yet to register an at-bat. He walked back in the second and has back-to-back sac flies, 1 to right and 1 to left, in the 3rd and 4th inning, respectively. The 0-1 to him is outside in the dirt, ball 1. Nice stop by Porter, not allowing Ford to come home for what would be the 14th run for the Stallions, which would tie a season high for them. They had 14 runs against Glens Falls about a week ago, right here at Cantine Field. The 1-1 from Dangler is outside. 2-1 now on Sanchez.
And this is Dangler's first innings of the season for Oneonta, so he's having a rude welcome here for him this season.
The 2-1. Sanchez swings and misses on the really slow breaker. Dangler mixing up his speeds. He doesn't throw very hard, but he went to the even slower breaker. Fool Sanchez, 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. The 2-2 is a miss. Ball 3 now. Runner will be away from first. That is Jamie Z after he just walked with the bases loaded. That scored Nick Croce. Ford still away from third. He walked as well. Logan Sanchez now in a 3-ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs here. The payoff. Sanchez lines this one to right field. It will fall. Ford will score. Z will go over to third. Logan Sanchez stays hot against the Outlaws. Sanchez is just an outlaw killer. 6 RBIs against Oneonta this season. Man, Logan Sanchez doing whatever he wants against outlaw pitching.
3 tonight as well. He's been magnificent. Just doing a job and not trying to do too much at the plate. That's all you want out of Logan Sanchez.
Justin Ford comes around to score for the 3rd time in this one. Painter 2-hops this over to second base. Brendan Connolly throws over to first. The Stallions send 9 more hitters to the dish this inning. Score 4 runs on 5 hits. Saugerties now up 14-1 over the Outlaws. Top of the 6th coming up when we come back. Welcome back, folks. Nick Zupi alongside Dan Shallow. Top of the 6th, the Stallions leading 14-1. They've plated 13 runs here in the last 3 innings. New pitcher for the Stallions, Landon Seep on the mound for the Stallions. Dallas Hot Wieners called to the bullpen. But going back to the last inning, Dan, it was the extra base hits in the 4th, a little bit of small ball in the 5th. No extra bases in that one, totaling 4 runs for Saugerties.
Yeah, and 4 runs just off 2 hits. A lot of walks, a couple hit by pitches. The Stallions going through all 9 batters again in that 5th inning. They've batted 18 over the last 2.
This top of the 6th inning presented to you by Sawyer Chevy. At our dealership, you'll find a solid selection of new Chevrolet models for sale, as well as a carefully inspected lineup of pre-owned vehicles. Leading off for the 6th inning for the Outlaws will be the EH, the 3-hole hitter, Jack Clark. Landon Seep, the left-hander, wearing jersey number 56. Clark skies this one out to right center field. Rodriguez and Haben-Siefken both on the run. It will be Haben-Siefken, the right fielder, to retire Clark. 1 pitch into the top of the 6th inning, presented to you by Sawyer Chevy.
Seep with a nice job right there, getting the first batter he faces. Headed to Herkimer. And is a local guy from Dutchess County, so it makes sense why he's with the Stallions this summer.
Making his first appearance for Saugerties here in 2025. First pitch to the cleanup hitter. The catcher, Zach Porter, is a swing and a miss, strike one. In this one, Porter is 0 for 1. He popped out to second baseman back in the first and hit an RBI sac fly back in the third. Pitch in there, strike two. That sac fly back in the third is the only Outlaw run of this game. And 1 run on 4 hits to go along with 2 errors. The 0-2 pitch is popped up into play. Rodriguez on the run. Z also making a play for it, but it will be Rodriguez. Loses his hat, but does not lose the baseball. Finds the back of the glove to retire Porter. 2 quick outs for Seep here in the top of the 6th inning.
Yeah, what a start for Seep, right? I mean, 2 weak contact fly balls into center field. Done a nice job so far, the big lefty, using the fastball to his advantage, getting it under the hitter's bats.
The lefty facing all righties. The next one would be Jace Kohler, the third baseman for the Outlaws. He takes strike one on the inside corner. Seep's really throwing his fastball. Really haven't seen anything else. Only thrown 5 pitches thus far, but they've all been heaters. The 0-1 pitch is in the dirt. Finally an off-speed pitch. Count back to even 1-1. Kohler in this one is 0 for 2. He struck out to end the third, and he also hit a pop-up to end the first. The southpaw for Saugerties throws a strike that is put in play. Rodriguez and Haben-Siefken again. Rodriguez will make the play. All 3 outs go to the outfield, 2 of them to Rodriguez. Landon Seep works a 1-2-3 inning, top of the 6th. But we're going to the bottom half of the 6th. Stallions leading 14-1 when we come back from Canton Field.
That's why MTA is a free shake from Stewart's.
We're good. Welcome back to Canton Field here in Saugerties, New York. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning. With the top of the order starting this inning again for the 3rd consecutive inning. Stallions sent 18 hitters to the plate in the previous 2. But a Dallas Hot Wieners called to the bullpen for the Outlaws. Alex Pasioka. The Stallions offense coming alive here in this one. 14 runs on 11 hits. They came into this one only scoring 23 runs in their last 5 with a team batting average of 187, leaving 45 runners on base. But the Stallions not missing their opportunities tonight. 11 runs here through the first 5 innings.
They've been so dominant, Nick, and why not add some more right here? If you're them, just keep adding. And Bersiaka, 5'10", rising sophomore from SUNY Cobble's skill. This past season, 2024, 15 1/3 innings pitched, ERA coming in at 12.91, so another guy that the Stallions might have a chance at bullying around here in the 6th. And remember, all they need to do is not let up 3 runs in the 7th, and this game will be over.
If the Stallions can hold on and put up a clean inning in the top of the 7th, it will be their first Mercy Roll win of this season. Saugerties has yet to be mercied on the season, despite the 5-game skid where they've lost 4 of them. The Stallions at one point were leading in each one of those 5 games. Luis Rodriguez in this one, stepping up to the box for his 5th appearance, his 5th at bat in this one. 0 for 2. He has 2 walks to go along with his 0 for 2 line.
First appearance here for Bersiaka this year. Rodriguez and Comiskey are the only ones left in the Stallions lineup without a hit tonight.
But they both have either an RBI or a run, so they're doing a nice job of passing the baton, not being key cogs in this Stallions lineup. Burciaga will go out of the windup. The pitch is a slow change. Rodriguez turns inside. 1 ball and 1 strike on the center fielder. In the top half of the inning, he caught 2 fly balls to retire this Outlaws 1-2-3. Made the final 2 outs of the inning. The 1-1 pitch is a line drive up the middle. Diving attempt from Connolly. It will go off his glove and into the outfield. Rodriguez now on base for the 3rd time in 5 tries, and this one picks up his first hit of the game.
Just need Comiskey now. Just need Comiskey to have every Stallion hitter have a hit now in this one. But this entire lineup, 1-9, has done an amazing job here tonight, showing how they played so effectively in those first 4 games where they had double-digit runs in 3 of them.
Rodriguez on first. The main stolen base threat for this Saugerties team. He has 3 in this one. Good for 12 on the season, but 8 of those have come against these Outlaw pitchers. First pitch to Carroll is popped away foul. 0-1. Cameron Carroll has been a nice addition to this lineup from Weber International in his first home game here at Cantine Field. He's 1 for 3, 2 flyouts, but both of those were hit hard on the barrel. Uhara made a nice diving play back in the first inning. He also had an RBI double that scored a run in the 4th. Burciaga drops in a slow change there. 0-2 now on the Saugerties backstop. Cameron Carroll stands 5'7", 155. Down to the count, 0-2. Rodriguez not going anywhere. Carroll swings and misses, strike 3. First strikeout of the PGCBL summer for Alex Burciaga. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
I'll tell you one thing. If Burciaga throws the curveball that he threw Carroll in that at-bat on the second pitch to Croce or Hobbin-Siefkin, there's going to be another home run here at Cantine Field.
Nick Croce now up next for the Stallions. He launched a home run to left field back in the 4th inning off of Colin Carver that I think is still traveling.
That was a shot to left field.
Burciaga gives a check on Rodriguez over at first. Like we said earlier, he has 12 stolen bases. The Stallions lead the PGC 4 as opposed to last game, where the Outlaws actually out-hit the Stallions despite losing 5-4. Burciaga checks on Rodriguez. Now throws over, checking on Rodriguez. Back in time safely. That's the 2nd time he's done so here in this at-bat with Croce. Safely. That's the 2nd time he's done so here in this at-bat with Croce. Saugerties has an off day tomorrow, traveling to Amsterdam on Monday. This one is fouled back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Croce. We'll do it again. Last game against the Utica Blue Sox, Croce was 0 for 3 with a run, but he did walk twice. Before his second at-bat, he was 2 for his last 21. Two absolute line drives, 1 back up the middle and 1 over the left field fence here tonight. The pitch is a swing and a miss, strike 3 after back-to-back fastballs. Burciaga floats a slow change in there to retire Croce, who's sent back to the dugout with a smile on his face after being fooled.
It's back-to-back strikeouts for Burciaga after Rodriguez smoked one past the glove of Connolly. He's settled in nicely.
Rodriguez still away from first after lining a single up the middle for the 12th Stallion hit of the night. Burciaga checking on Rodriguez once again, with Travis Hobbin-Siefkin now in the box for the Stallions. And this one, he's had a big night. 2 doubles. 3 runs scored, a stolen base to go along with an RBI. First pitch to him is a fastball in there, strike one. Burciaga, after walking the leadoff runner, ahead on Hobbins-Siefken here, 0-1 with 2 outs in the inning. Travis Hobbins-Siefken also had a strikeout in the first inning. 3 for 4 here tonight. The 0-1 pitch is lined down the left field line, foul. 0 balls and 2 strikes. Burciaga way ahead of Hobbins-Siefken. 1 pitch away from putting up the first 0 for the Outlaw pitching since the first inning. The Stallions put up 1 run in the second, 4 in the third, 5 in the fourth, and 4 in the fifth. Here we are in the sixth. 14-1 is your score. The 0-2 pitch is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Hobbins-Siefken. Before Crosey's blast to left, Hobbins-Siefken had the only 2 home runs for the Stallions on the season, both coming here at Cantine Field and both going over the left field fence, just like Nick Crosey's 2-run blast in the fourth. The 1-2 pitch is a swing and a miss, strike 3. Alex Burciaga's case 3 straight Stallion hitters to retire the side. We're going to the top of the 7th. Stallions are 3 outs away from a Mercy Rule win with Dan Shellum on play-by-play. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Saugerties. Dan Shallum with you alongside Nick Zuppi as the Stallions look to mercy the Outlaws here, leading 14-1 in the top of the 7th. What has just been an offensive masterclass here for the Stallions in this game. Dane Richards will lead things off. Pops this one high in the sky over to the Bermuda Triangle, and right field foul territory. Hobbins-Siefken makes the play. 4 batters retired in a row for Seep to start this relief outing.
2 of those by way of the first pitch. Landon Seep working very efficiently here in the game for the Stallions in the Saugerties night here at Cantine Field.
Zachary Robinson next. Seep misses high and away for ball 1.
No action here in the Stallions bullpen in the bottom of the 7th inning, presented to you by Sinot's Plumbing. Whether you require plumbing, heating, or AC services, our certified technicians are here to provide you with high-quality work and exceptional results.
Saugerties will have off tomorrow, resume play at Amsterdam on Monday night. We'll have you with live Twitter updates for that one. And then they have off on Tuesday. Wednesday, back in action here at home against the Glens Falls Dragons. That is 7:05 start. We'll have you with the 6:50 Archtop Fiber pregame show. Big cut and a miss right there from Robinson. And now Seep a strike away from retiring his 5th straight batter.
Stallions pitching really still on a roll. Came into this one with a 1.67 ERA in their last 3. Only have allowed 1 run thus far through 6 1/3. Now 6 2/3.
Strike and a swing and a miss right there from Robinson. That's 5 straight batters retired. The Stallions now 1 out away from closing out this game and getting back to 500 on the year, just like they did a couple days ago against these Outlaws. And this would be a big win for Saugerties as Utica came back and walked off Amsterdam in the bottom of the ninth. So Saugerties would gain a full game on the Mohawks here with a win. 1-0. Misses upstairs for ball one.
With a win here, that would only make them 4 back of Amsterdam. Came into tonight 5 back, but like you said, huge win for Utica.
And head coach Keith Griffin will not be happy about that loss up there in Utica. That's back-to-back wins now for the Blue Sox after starting the season 1-4. They're up to 3-4 on the year. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Cut and a miss, Ian Wirtz. And now the Outlaws are down to their final strike of the ball game. Two. Misses inside, and the count goes full.
Here in the backup broadcast booth, we're right above this Stallions dugout, and you can hear all their guys in the dugout. They really wanted that one.
Payoff. Misses outside. It's a 2-out walk here for Wirtz. And coming to the plate will be Connor Wading. Wirtz worked the walk, and Seep was nearly a pitch away from 6 straight retired in his outing and had faced the minimum up to that point. Will now have to deal with Wading here with 2 outs in a 13-run ball game. A feeble swing right there out of Wading for strike one. Wanted to pull it back but didn't. Wirtz is at first. 2 down here in the top of the 7th. With the win, the Stallions will have won 2 out of their last 3 after losing 4 out of 5 coming into this game. Things looking up for Saugerties, and a pivotal date set on Monday night with the Mohawks in Amsterdam. Off-speed finds the outside part of the zone. It's 1-2.
This 5-game stint for the Stallions was the first time since 2022 where Saugerties has lost 4 of 5 in a season.
Seep misses down low. Count goes to 2-2. Stallions 14 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors. Seep searching for the final strike to close things out here in the 7th. The pitch. Strike 3, got him swinging. Ball game over. Landon Seep closes things down. He only faces 7 batters across 2 innings. Stallions on top in this one. They come out with a 14-1 victory and are back to 500, 5-5 on the year.
Huge bounce-back win for the Stallions. But circle this win. This win tonight here, June 14th against the Outlaws, might turn the Stallions season around. Like you said, they get back to 500, but the bats broke out in a big way. 14 runs on 12 hits, 5 extra base hits for Saugerties tonight.
They're certainly hoping that can be the case here, Nick. A 14-1 win for them. Like we mentioned, Amsterdam also losing tonight. Boonville also falls. So the Stallions pick up a lot of ground here on a Saturday night. They will have the day off tomorrow for Father's Day and then resume action on Monday night against Amsterdam. But a massive win here tonight for Saugerties, and you really couldn't ask for much more out of them all game long. Really a powerful win. And in just a second here, we're going to talk to our player of the game. Henry Hipschman is standing by with Nick Croce.
Stallions shortstop Nick Croce. Nick, you're the player of the game. How you feeling?
Feels great. I mean, we got a dub. We got a tough loss yesterday in Utica, but all that matters is that we bounced back and got a dub today. We put up a crooked number on the board, so that always feels good.
Hey, first home run of the year. You crushed that ball in the left field. Tell me about that pitch. What'd you like about it?
It was a 3-1 fastball, so I was in a hitter's count, and we talk about that a lot. Just be aggressive, and I got my pitch, and I capitalized on it, and I hit a bomb, so it felt good. I knew it was gone off the bat, so.
Hey, and scoring's been a bit of a struggle for the team lately. Lost 4 of the last 5. You guys come out here tonight. You run rule the Outlaws. What does this mean to the team?
I think we're just gonna get it going. I think it's a good step in the right direction. So I mean, that's all we can ask for. One day at a time, and we good.
Congrats, Nick. Back to you guys in the booth.
Henry, thanks so much. Nick Croce with a 2-for-4 night, headlined by that 2-run jack that he had in the 4th inning. Stallions on top, 14-1 the final here from Cantine Field. That's going to do it for tonight's broadcast. We won't be with you on Monday night, but Wednesday night, back here at home against the Glens Falls Dragons, we'll have you with pregame coverage starting at 6:50 and a 7:05 first pitch. For our entire crew, our sideline reporter Henry Hifshman, our producer Bella Holleran, Nick Zuppi, I'm Dan Shalom saying good night and happy Father's Day.